This is the Voices of Misery podcast. This show isn't for the easily offended, so PC Police on Patrol stand by. You've been warned. Now, let's join the nerd and nerdette with another podcast for that ass.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Voices of Misery podcast. I am one half of the dynamic duo, the nerds. I am the nerd, and you are...
the nerdette.
Such enthusiasm, such passion, such drive. I love it. You're very into tonight's show, I can tell.
Shut up.
Maybe because yesterday was your birthday. And you turned a year older. How do you feel being the big 40?
It feels like any other day.
Does it really? You don't feel a little bit older
But the
and
thing
more
is,
pops and creaks and cracks in your body when you get up?
Oh, I felt that for years, but that has nothing to do with me turning 40.
It's a sedentary lifestyle.
But the thing is, like, when I was a kid, and like, I remember my mom and my aunt, and like, they all turned 40, and it was like this huge freaking deal. Like, they had like big ass parties.
Yeah.
You know, like t-shirts made with like their baby picture on it, or like the worst school picture possible. And then it said something like, "Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40," or something like that. Like, just like these huge, big shindigs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when I was young, I'm like, damn, that's old, you know? But now I'm here, and it's not. Like, it was no big deal. It was just another fucking day. Why? I don't know. I don't understand why people make such a big deal about it. My stepmother was freaking harassing her daughter all day yesterday.
Oh, God. Well, she was a little under the influence.
Yeah. Sending stupid jokes to her. Go tell your mom, blah, blah, blah. She's older than a barn, and like saying dumb shit. And I'm just like, Samantha, ignore her. Just ignore her, and she will stop. Mm-hmm. And she did. But like, it's just really not that big of a deal. It's 40. Like, whatever.
I think it's the whole look at me mentality that people have. I think it's this whole like, hey, look, it's me. It's my special day. Like, some people, they have this thing called a birthday month where they celebrate the entire month and act like it's all about them. They think like they're the center of the freaking universe, and that's what they do. They have a birthday month. I had a guy that I used to work with. He called it his birthday week, and it's like, dude, it's so you're going to celebrate one day for an entire week.
So what did he do? Like, he was able to do whatever the fuck he wanted, like, at all?
I have no idea.
Week?
I have no clue. Like,
was he given a gift every day?
I don't know. These people are just... I think what it is like people get one special day and it's not enough, so they try to stretch it out as long as they can.
Like fucking Hanukkah?
Pretty much.
Get a gift.
Pretty much. You
gift.
have to light a candle or some shit and just blow it out every night before you go to bed or some shit. I don't know. Like, people just really want to have that center of attention. They want the spotlight, and I guarantee you, the same people that want these birthday weeks and months, they probably walk around, or they probably wish they could walk around with a goddamn spotlight over them and someone that's unraveling a red carpet for them to step on with each freaking foot forward, you know what I mean? They just care, like they have to wear like a crown and shit, and everyone else has to stand around them, you know? Like when a girl gets married, she's got the beautiful dress and her bridesmaids all look ugly. They wear like the same matching shitty outfit. You know, like no one can look better than the bride on her special day, and...
See, I don't know where that came from.
I don't know.
Because every wedding picture I have ever seen, the bridesmaids look fine. Like, my mother's second marriage, the bridesmaids look nice. Both my sister's weddings, the bridesmaids looked nice. Like, it wasn't, like, ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I think that maybe that was back then.
I think some really ugly bitch started that. That's what happened. Some really ugly bitch that want to be upstage on her special day.
Every wedding I've ever been to was all nice. Like, why would you put some ugly ass shit in your wedding just to make sure you look better?
I don't know if it's like a rib or just someone who has very bad self-esteem issues. They have to, do that. I guess. I don't know. But a lot of people aren't getting married anymore. There was a study they did. There was a very high percentage of women are just like us, really. Like, we just be together and don't get married. It's been a long time, and you call each other wife and husband, but it's never been official.
We signed paperwork, so we are.
Yeah, but I mean, we never. Damn, you got to keep reminding me.
I know.
Got to keep reminding me.
Because you like to say that we're not, but
there's no ring on my
legally
finger.
We are,
bitch.
baby. There's no ring on my finger either, motherfucker.
well, I'm not the one reminding you all the time. But still, a lot of people aren't doing it now, so I don't know if we're getting away from that.
No, it's a millennial thing.
You get tattooed eyelids and shit. Who knows?
They're waiting, which is probably the smart thing. Mm-hmm. People are getting pregnant later and all that stuff, but
people are putting their careers first because we're putting such an emphasis on having to work or having to do shit, mm-hmm. and it's like you have to You have to be smart. People are getting buried in debt, and I think it's a smart thing. A lot of people are not going to college anymore, which is fantastic. They're not wasting their money on college. They're not getting tied up into these relationships and going to work in coal mines like they used to fucking 100 years ago. Yeah, at a very tender age, start a family at 18, get married at 19 or whatever the hell they used to do way
aren't
back
going to
when.
college anymore?
They are, but at a very slow rate. They're not going as much because the whole college myth has been busted. You don't need to go to college to have a good life, They used to tell people, oh yeah, you have to go to college to get a good job. You have to. And sure, like certain positions in your job, you have to have a degree to move up for some odd reason. But then again, a lot of the companies are paying for that degree.
If you want to be something, you have to go to college.
Not really.
Well, yes. If you want to be a damn doctor, you have to go to college. If you want to actually
be a doctor, like that's a very, very low percentile job. A lot of people don't have that job. There's very few doctors.
But there are
when you look at
people
the
out there
grand
that
scope.
want to be a certain thing. People do not want to get out of school and work in fucking retail.
Oh no.
I didn't. I never wanted to, but I couldn't afford college. So
if you work hard, and I think that's the backbone of America, isn't going to college. The backbone of America is hard work, great ideas, and believing in yourself.
People stop going to college. We're not going to have doctors or teachers, or we're not going to have anything.
No, I think we'd figure it out. I mean,
I think it would be a mess at that.
I think a really smart doctor can train someone to do their job.
Oh God, no!
Someone with a willingness to learn. I think the best doctor in the world could teach the. I'm not saying like anybody can do it, but they can train someone. I'm sure. I was listening to this woman. She's she had a degree in something. I forgot what the fuck it was, but she said I went through like 8 years of schooling and I could teach any idiot off the street to do my job. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm not saying like anybody can be a doctor. I mean that's a very
you got to do surgeries and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good job. It takes a lot of skill to do that. But I think if you got someone skilled enough, they could teach a lesser person with no college how to do it. As long as you have like a general knowledge of the human body and like where things were, I think a doctor could be like, all right, well this is where you cut on a body because I mean everybody's built the same on the inside for the most part, don't you think?
Like dude, no one's cutting into me unless they have a degree. I would flip the hell out.
I mean, if you were to go for like brain surgery or some shit, I mean, I don't think you would have a choice. I don't think you could be like, sir, can I see your degree? I think it is like, hey, this is Dr. So-and-so.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that now because they hire people with degrees.
Yeah, but I'm
like,
just saying.
I do not want to live in a world that you're talking about at all.
I'm just saying, like, I think they could teach, it's like a mechanic, like, I don't know shit about cars, but if I spent, a week with someone who knew a lot about cars, I would learn a few things. I would learn how to put fucking air in a tire like we don't know how to do now. I'm sure I could probably like learn how to do an oil change or some shit, Hell, I watched a YouTube video on how to put the damn fluid in the car for the windshield wipers because I never opened up the damn thing before. Yeah. Yeah, remember I was buying that purple one that
Yeah, I knew you bought the fluid. I didn't know you had to watch a YouTube
Yeah, I watched the YouTube video because I just didn't know where to put it. Just imagine if I was a virgin. How do I do it? Watch a fucking... God. You can't watch a YouTube video for that. You can watch some other videos, but shit. I don't know. But going back to the other thing, though, because I do want to talk about that a little bit more. I just feel like what you were talking about with the whole 40 thing, I'm sure like your mom was the only one that had the 40 t-shirt on, or whoever the 40... They all wore it.
It was the whole fucking family.
Oh, jeez, that's right.
And it wasn't just the family. Like, her school friends, like, fucking people... came out of the woodwork for her for that birthday. I'm like, what? It was the biggest freaking birthday party I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And it was made into such a big deal, and like everyone like roasted her like the whole time. That as a kid, I'm like, holy shit, 40 is really old. It fucking isn't. Like, and I don't understand the whole thing, why it's such a big deal. But I guess it's just me.
I don't know, man. The whole thing about just getting older is once you get there, I guess. Because it's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking on the way to work this morning, where I was driving the car, and I'm like, I drove past the pool shop on 17 where they have the swimming pools out there, and I'm like, man, we should get a pool this year. And I'm like, you're gonna be 40, and I'm gonna be 38 next year or whatever. And I'm like, we're going to be old people in a pool. Do old people get in pools? And I'm wondering this as I'm driving. I'm like, just imagine if we had this pool for like 20, 30 years. Like, when do we stop using it? Like when do you stop having a desire to do things,
The kids will come over and use it.
Yeah, it's just weird. And like, I guess like...
How the hell were you down that end of 17?
You don't ever go down to the right. There's another one, yeah.
Shit.
And I'm wondering to myself, like, what if we have a pool and we're like 60? Do we still go in there? Do we have fun? Do we relax in the pool? You know, like, what do you do when you're 60? Because then I look at some 60-year-olds, and there's an episode of Practical Jokers where there was like a whole bunch of senior citizens. They were exercising, which was cool. But then I think of like a 60-something-year-old person like your dad and your mother-in-law, and I'm like,
they would be in the pool immediately.
All they do is sit around and drink beer all day long.
Well, that's
they wouldn't even go to the beach for free. You kidding me?
Well,
I mean, it's just weird. And when I guess you don't know what you're gonna do until you get to that age.
You're comparing two
apples and oranges.
They're losers who like don't do anything. You can't think of it like that, because like you look at them and their ages, they could do stuff. They're not like freaking old as shit and can't move. I could see them enjoying a pool and stuff. Like what? Man, you are very depressing.
Well, what do you think?
You think we're just gonna be crippled and can't do anything?
I'm not saying us, but I'm just trying to say, like, you know,
if we had a pool, I'd be all in that shit at 65 years old or whatever the hell.
No, the thing is, like, when I was young, I used to think of someone my age to start like breaking down, like your body starts breaking down. And now, as I'm this age, I feel like I can do the same shit I used to do when I was that age. I thought people's body would break down, and when I turn 40, I don't see things getting much different unless something drastic happens in the next 2.5 years. You know, but
more gray hair. That's about it.
Yeah, it's just the weirdest thing. I just don't see it. Like, now as I'm getting older, I don't think like, you know, like it's not a possibility that we can't do things.
No, I think it's just different when you're young, because 40 seems so far away.
When I was young, I used to think I was the fucking greatest thing ever. Like, oh, I can do all this shit that, you know.
You still think you're the greatest thing ever.
Well, I am, but I mean, some people think that, like, oh, I'm 20 years old, I can outrace a 40-year-old, you know, or whatever. And it's just like, maybe some 40-year-olds can still do some shit, you know. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. We think of age in the grand scheme of things, you know, like where are you going to be in 10 years? What do you think you can and can't do? So, you know, I was just thinking about something as simple as a swimming pool, you know. I can't think of like a 70-year-old man riding a bike, but I'm sure they do it. And I'm sure, you know, I would like to be able to do that when I'm old, even though I haven't ridden a bike in years.
They do it on the beach.
I know.
They do it.
I know, but it's like not all of them can. So I guess that's where the difference lies, where as you do get older, you do see a smaller percentage of people doing things that they used to be able to do. Like, how many gray-haired people do you see riding a bike up and down the beach? You might see a couple here and there, but you do see a lot more, like 30-somethings running up and down the beach and doing their things with their dogs and shit. So,
and those will be the gray-haired people when they're 70 and 80 riding bikes, because they're active.
Yeah.
Freaking lazy people are just going to be sitting there like beach whales on the beach.
they just roll.
The other people are running around them.
High tide, they just roll into the pool.
That's what it is. It all depends on, I guess, how you live your life.
Oh man, it is depressing. I guess, you know, because we were talking about calendars and how it seems like every year we're buying a new one. Which is true. Obviously, you have to buy a new calendar every year. But it feels like every other day I can remember the same experience going to the store and buying a calendar. And what we were looking for, we got a Total Divas calendar. And I remember buying that one in the store together. We were at the mall. And I remember vividly last year looking for one at the mall. Couldn't find it. So we picked up a Walking Dead one because that was the only thing we kind of knew what the hell it was.
Yeah, I wanted something different this year.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about this next year. Like, hey, remember we got this calendar, we got that calendar? It's just going so fast. I want to slow it down. I don't know if it's a mindset or if it's a matter of filling your days with things that matter.
Well, no, I like having the calendar because I write shit down. When the kids have certain days off of school, whatever, like vacation time, when the house is getting sprayed, when Sammy has her art class, like I write shit down. And then it helps Jenna to always look at the calendar. She knows what day it is. She knows if something's going on that week. You know, so it just, I like having the calendar there. I want something different this year. Like the Total Divas one was fine, I guess. I don't really want it again. The Walking Dead one was boring. There's a lot of stupid pictures in there. People I could care less about. But at the time, that was all that one store had. So I'm hoping we can find something better. Superhero or villain or, you know, something fucking cool. I want a cool one this year. I don't need no half-naked women. I don't need no stupid Ezekiel on like 3 different months out of the year. Like, what in the hell? Like, no. I just want something cool.
I don't know, man. It's like you just missed the whole thing what I was talking about, like how the days are going by faster. Like if you're talking about the calendar
but-
still.
I mean,
Well, I don't know. Like, how do you think you can slow the days down? Do you think there's a way that you can do it by filling it with more things or doing less things?
No.
Like, what is it? It must be a state of mind, right? Because
no, it just goes quicker because you're older.
think of it this way: a person in jail, in their cell, they sit there and they stare at the wall all day. Their days seem to go on forever, but we're doing so much stuff throughout
I
our
sit
day.
here.
But you're watching TV. You're stimulated. You
Well,
can do what you want.
they watch TV. Those people in jail, I don't feel sorry for them, man. They got iPhones and iPads. They got all sorts of crap in there. I don't feel bad for those people. Cable TV, they're watching TV and playing cards, and they got their damn iPads. So whatever, they're FaceTiming their family. Like it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
in
now
there.
they got tablets, so I guess their days are going by
Yeah.
quicker. Yeah.
I mean,
Just imagine, like, you're sitting there, and all of a sudden, like, a FaceTime, you have a FaceTime message from Tyrone, and it's a fucking dude in jail. Hey, baby, what's up? Take off your top.
oh my god.
Give me something to look at, or whatever the fuck is going on. That's crazy. Like, they're giving these people fucking tablets now. Isn't that just weird? The whole point of jail is, like, you're supposed to lose all your rights and your freedom.
Well, they have it's part of commissary, so they have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But it's just like you're in jail. Like I can see certain people that are in jail, like the low level crimes or whatever,
Yeah.
the people that shouldn't probably even be in there, right?
Yeah, like a marijuana person.
yeah,
Well,
like,
I got caught
I mean-
with 1 ounce of marijuana.
So damn dumb.
Yeah.
Like you're taking up space. Get them the fuck out of there.
Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
who are they hurting? But like murderers and stuff. Like I don't know what their rights are, but I'm hoping they're not the ones getting fucking
You know,
tablets and shit.
Probably are. I mean, people
'Cause
with
that's
special
ridiculous.
privileges. People like I bet Lori Laughlin's going to have a tablet,
Oh, of course she's going to.
a cheap ass Android, like 7-inch tablet. She's going to have to fucking communicate with John Stamos, her fucking kids from Full House, whatever the fuck she has going on
I
there.
don't think any of them are talking to her.
I mean, like, why not? She didn't do anything that most parents wouldn't do. Seriously, she threw a little money out to get her kids into a better school. Whatever.
Her kids didn't even want to go to school.
They didn't want to go to school. It was a status. Oh, my kids went to USC, a really shitty school anyway. I guess USC's not a great school. It's just a name.
$500,000 for kids that didn't even want to be there.
Yeah, she just did it just
So
for
stupid.
what? Like, those kids didn't need college. The daughters were making like $1 million
'cause of
each.
Instagram or some
just
crap.
being Instagram whores or
And
whatever.
can we stop with that?
What, giving people money to show tits and ass on the internet? Yeah, probably.
Like I don't
It's
understand.
stupid.
Like Instagram is it Instagram that got rid of the likes?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I have a problem with that. I don't understand why the likes is a problem. I think they should get rid of the comments. Comments should be gone. Because that's where, like, the bullying and shit is, right? Like, or the haters, or whatever the fuck you want to say. Like, you put something up there, and someone could be fat shaming someone, or, you know, they disagree with whatever the hell you're saying, and then they just start going off. Like, who gives a fuck if someone clicks a heart or whatever? I don't know what Instagram has. Likes whatever the fuck you post. Who gives a shit about that? The problem is the people running their mouth. They need to get rid of the comments.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
Well, that's why people are doing these horrible things anyway online. Like, they're doing it for likes. Like that dude, that wrestler guy, Superhuman or whatever his name is.
But get rid of the comment.
Yeah.
That person wouldn't be getting any likes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. So the guy, and what he does is he set up like a barbed wire light tube crusted table or whatever, and he would jump off of it and scream, "Fuck this shit," and jump and go into it, and people would watch it. He'd get these clicks. He's got like over 100,000 subscribers on Twitter or whatever, followers, and he's got a big YouTube channel. And he's just this kid, and you can tell he's got special needs. And he's doing it with his friend, and he's getting likes, and people are saying, "Wow, that's awesome." So he's
Right,
doing more and more
you talked
hardcore
about that
things.
before, but did they get rid of the likes so the public can stop seeing the likes, or can you still see the likes?
I think you can still see them, but the point isn't for you to see them. I think it's for everyone to see them. Like, hey, look, I have 1,000 likes.
Can you just get rid of all of it?
I think that's what it is.
Social media needs to go away.
Well, they got rid of downvotes on a lot of websites. Like, I remember there's
I didn't even know that was a thing.
There's that one video game forum that we were playing for a while at whatever DC or whatever. They used to have a thing where you could post something online Like, hey, I don't like this DLC. There'd be downvotes, and people would be offended by downvotes. You're downvoting me. They would cry and quit the forum, quit the game because they got downvoted on the message board. Because people can't handle the negative reinforcement. So what they do is they just quit. They just leave, and so they got rid of it so people would stop leaving the forum because people didn't like being downvoted. They didn't like people doing it. But then again, you would have people that would abuse the system. If you genuinely like or dislike something, then give one. Don't just do it. And they would have this guy. His name was Downvote Bandit. Was his name on the thing? He would downvote everything, no matter what it was. People would say, "Oh, this asshole," and there'd be like one downvote, and you knew it was him, and he would like laugh about it. And it's like, you're stupid.
But
it was just dumb.
That's the problem. There's people out there like him that go and do something dumb. It just, I don't understand. Just, I don't know. In my opinion, get rid of all of it. Like, really. These fucking stupid people, like, making millions of dollars because they're, what the fuck are they called?
What's that? Influencers? Or
Yeah. Fuck that. Watch a commercial on TV. Like, I don't understand it. I just don't understand this whole social media thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, like, people are spending money for this, and it's not just that, it's advertisements and all that other bullshit. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess if there's $1 to be made, and there's some kind of incentive or something you could brag about, like it's a status thing, you know? Like, oh, I have 500,000 Twitter followers, that's currency. Because you can use that as some sort of influencer tactic, I guess. Like, you can go to like Activa and be like, hey, I'm going to sponsor your product, send me free shit because I got this many followers and I can influence them to buy it.
Yeah.
And people can get whatever they want. And the problem is you can't tell who's real and who's fake because you can literally go to a Twitter website and spend like $100 and they'll give you thousands of fake followers that'll like all your shit. But they can't do certain things. They can't retweet, they can't comment or something like that. I was reading about it. It was really interesting stuff, and people will spend, it's big money. And there's another thing, too, to game the iTunes system I found out, right? And this is something I found out yesterday morning. Or it doesn't matter how many downloads you get on iTunes. It depends how many...
comments.
Like 5-star comments and subscriptions that you get.
Right.
Because we had days where we were getting like 3,000-4,000 downloads in a day, which was crazy at the time. And we wouldn't get there.
I told you that.
Yeah. But like I was reading about it because I didn't believe it because it just didn't make sense. You would think like the top show, yeah.
The more comments that are chunked in a very short amount of time. Like if we were to get 10 5-star comments in one day, we'd be up there. It's the weirdest fucking thing. Like I don't understand that at all. It has nothing to do with your downloads at all. Which is why you see the same podcasts that are promoted on iTunes constantly. If you look in like a certain category or whatever, it's the same damn 10 ones that are on the front page all the freaking time. And it's like, it'll be people like Dak Shepard, or like people that are well known because they're constantly getting the comments, the stupid reviews or whatever. So, I don't know. I found that out like months ago.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's really disappointing to think about because you got these people out there that have no talent in life but looking good in a bikini and they're making all this money. You know, and like we're sitting here hustling this podcast. 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. Like I'm sitting there up and I'm going through all these websites and I'm trying to find ways to get this thing out there, reaching out to businesses, all these influencer people type things or whatever, putting all these applications out and just doing big things, you know, and I think we made some pretty good moves, you know, we're hooking up with these bigger entities and providing content for them, and they're providing things for us. I got a couple of reads here I got to do in a little bit, and I feel like we've grown in the 11 months, but not to the extent that I would like, because with my anxiety or whatever you want to call it, I want things now. And I hate waiting,
that drives me nuts.
I know, but like I do sit back and I take a step back, I breathe a little bit. You know, after a few drinks, I relax a little bit and I think to myself, you know, we're very fortunate to be in a position that we're in at the state of the game we're in with who we are. You know, like neither one of us is going to put on a bikini and look like Kylie Jenner. You know what I mean? And this bitch is $1 billion in the bank just for looking good. You know what I mean? It's just, and her last name. It's just, oh my God, it just drives me nuts. But, you know, you can't be jealous. You can't hate on someone else's game. You know, you always want to punch up, not punch down. So I guess let's keep shooting for the stars. See where it takes us, man. You know, we have some good people out there to listen. So I appreciate them. You know, and stick with us because things are just going to keep on getting better. So anyway, did you want to talk about your birthday? Because we did talk about, you did have one. We didn't talk about what you got, something that's on your wrist.
We talked about that like 2 weeks ago when you
Did we
brought it
really?
home.
Where the fuck was I?
I don't know, man. You don't pay attention. That
That's a
Apple
problem.
Watch. Yeah, we already talked about that.
Dude, that's becoming a real problem, actually. The fact that I don't pay attention. And my memory, like, I completely forgot. Someone said something to me today. And I was like, I have a hard time paying attention. And then they said something else, and I completely disregarded what they said and started talking about something else. It's the weirdest
I'm
thing.
glad that I'm glad it's not just me. Because there are days where I feel like it's seriously just me that you completely
it's not.
ignore.
I feel like they're going to take my driver's license away eventually because, like, on the road today, I was, like, zoned out a lot. And it's been happening worse.
That's not
more
good.
and more, longer and longer. Where, like, I'll be driving and, like, I have to, like, shake my head and, like, open my eyes, like, really wide. You know how, like, you, like, stretch your eyes open like you're doing that bug-eyed look? I would do that just to keep them open. Like, I'm not falling asleep, but I am zoning out more and more. And the other day, I was doing some weird shit in the car. I was doing, like the freaking Joker voice the whole way, almost. Like, talking, like, saying these random things. Like,
when do you do that? Because you called me.
Things that, no, I'm talking about on the way to work.
Oh, okay.
Not on the way home, but on the way to work. I'm sitting there, like, doing all these weird things, like having these conversations and shit. It's, like, just to keep myself awake.
Oh, my God.
So my throat was all sore when I got to work, because I was, like, screaming in the car, like, like, laughing or whatever. Just weird shit, man. Like, I can't help it. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm having a hard time focusing in the car. Like, my mind is wandering too much. And I won't even, like, I'll be hearing a podcast, but I won't, like, hear the words that are being said.
Well, you know where you need to go tomorrow, right?
No.
You need to get that shit taken care of. Like, you need to start paying attention.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
You don't have anything here.
Oh, you're talking about, like, the CBD?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you need to start taking care of it.
Well, I mean, I haven't gotten a shipment from my friends at CBD Medic lately. I'm waiting for the next one to come, actually, and I'm going to tell you about CBD. Thank you for the segue, by the way. There's a thing called CBD out
purpose.
there. I don't know if all you people out there know what CBD is, but what it is it's the extract from THC. It's the stuff that makes you feel good without getting you high, and that's what I need, because I don't need to be any higher than I am in life. I feel pretty good sometimes, but sometimes I feel down. My anxiety takes over, my depression kicks in. Sometimes I feel aches and pains in my body, and that's where CBD Medic comes in. Our friends there heard the podcast. They were like, they reached out. They said, "Nerd, you need this." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't need anything from anybody. I'm a proud man." They said, "What's your address, Nerd?" So they were like humorous. So I sent them the address, sent a nice box over. I was going through these things, I was just sitting on the shelf for a couple of days, and one day the anxiety kicked in. I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning all night long. You fucking kicked me out of bed. I walk over to the box. I pull out the tincture, put it under my tongue, and before you knew it, kicked in, and I was sleeping like a baby. Had some aches and pains. I took the nice cream. I rubbed it on my back where it was hurting. A couple minutes later, subsided. I'm like, you know what? This is some pretty good stuff. So now I happily endorse our friends at CBD Medic, and they gave us a special code for our listeners. VOM Podcast 10, VOM PODCAST 10 will get you 10% off any order, no matter how small or how large the order is. You'll save 10%. And coming from the nerd, a guy who's all fucked up in the head and the body, this stuff works. I want you guys to try it out at cbdmedic.com and tell them the nerd sent you. Please, you will not regret it. And thank you for that. That was a great segue.
That wasn't supposed to be a segue, and how did I get sucked into that, where I supposedly kicked you out of bed?
You did kick me out of bed. You just don't remember. You were tossing and turning, you were kicking, and you said, "Get the fuck out," and you went back to sleep.
Get the hell out of here.
You said, "Get the fuck out," and you went back to sleep, because I'm sitting there rambling and mumbling.
First of all, that would never happen. It would be my ass getting kicked out of bed. Thank you.
I felt good that night, all right? And I got out of bed because I needed to, and I had to pee anyway, so I got out of bed.
Oh, God.
So, I was at Walmart the other day, right? And the first thing I noticed was that there were many carts all over the fucking place. And when you're driving up to a parking spot and you see a shopping cart right where you could drive, you're not going to get out and move it and then park your car, right? You're just going to find the next parking spot. So there's all these empty spots with carts in them, and I'm wondering to myself, what kind of special scumbag does that, And then I realized that we do it sometimes, unless we see someone looking at us. Sometimes we do.
Not in the parking spot.
We leave it off to the side. But still, we leave a cart there, and who's to say that when we drive off, maybe the wind will blow it a little bit, it'll roll.
Well, there's a reason. Okay, you're bringing this up, it's putting us in there. So I'm going to explain this. There are certain areas where certain stores that the car vestibule is like lanes away. There's like 2 in the whole damn huge ass parking lot, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not walking all the way the fuck over there to drop off a damn cart. But then you go to some place like Lowe's Foods that we have here.
Yeah.
And it's in every aisle or lane. What the fuck do you call it in a parking lot? Lane, I'm going to say. There's a car area in each area. So it's not that big of a deal. You walk a couple cars and throw it in the damn vestibule. Yeah. But if you go to a bigger store, you gotta walk halfway across the parking lot to put the damn cart in. And and I do feel bad for the cart people, but no.
I do, because I did it at one point. It sucks. It's a very tough job. It really is. It's a very demanding job on the body.
But I won't leave it in the middle of a parking spot. I do move it off to the side so it's not touching. It's it's out of the way.
Now, when I was a cart guy, and I only did it for a very short time because I'm a very proud man, and I thought that job was beneath me.
You didn't even do it. You came, dude.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like I felt, and I was younger at the time, and I felt like it was beneath me because I was young. I had that arrogant attitude, But if I was better than that, why was I doing something better, And I at the time I was very technologically savvy.
Is that what you want to say? You had there was something about you that you didn't take shit from nobody.
I had a chip on my shoulder, but this is before we had kids too.
Oh yeah, this is when we first got together.
So, and this is going to segue into an even better topic. But anyway, at the time, I was like, this job's beneath me. I'm too good for this shit. I don't need this job. It's just a crappy little job anyway. And I should be inside doing this because I'm good with electronics and shit like that. I should be doing that. And I was an entitled prick back then. I had a huge chip on my shoulder. I thought I was better than everybody. I was just a jerk, So I would do the cards for a little bit. And it was easy to keep up with in the morning. And I would work in the morning. And it was easy because 3 or 4 people come in. You bring them in, and you just keep up with it. But then you got to take lunch. And I would take lunch for an hour and come back, and the whole parking lot was full, and they demanded them all be put in immediately. And I'm like, I can't do this by myself, it's too much shit. There's 100 cards here.
Because back then,
it was a busy
they didn't
Walmart
have
too.
That machine
either. Yeah, that's right. That
this is how long ago
it
was. Walmart now has a machine that helps them push a line of cards.
Yep. It's about time. It's about time. It's a very tough job.
Didn't have that, and I remember it was winter, and you were doing it in the snow and the ice. And I remember all that. I didn't last very long doing that job. It was maybe 2 to 3 months. And I remember, it just got really cold. And I was just like, hey, I'm not and then they expect you to do everything. You got to help people to their cars. You got to bring all the carts in. You got to clean up the parking lot and shit. And I was just leaving half the time and coming back home and hanging out. Because I lived right across the street. So you would just... So I was aggravated. Fuck this, punch in, and you would come over. Yeah, so I said, I really thought I was too good for the job, and I do have a respect for card people because it's a tough job. So whenever we can, I try to bring the cards back, and we do it. I would say 70% of the time we bring them back. Oh, see, I would say a little bit more than that. All right, let's push it to 80 because I do make it a point to park near or next to one, right along, because I don't want people parking on both sides of me. If I can save one side of getting hit, I'm going to park next to it so they can only park on one side of me. So. We do put them back. All right, let's say 80% of the time we bring it back because there are times where we're too far away. Yeah. All right, so let's say 80 to 85%. It keeps getting higher. Because I know damn well that we do it most of the time. I don't even know where that came from. But I'll tell you what, the other night the wind was whipping, man. It was cold as fuck, and I'm freezing. And I stopped at the store to pick something up for you and to pick up my a rotisserie chicken or something for myself. Right? It was freezing. It was late. The parking lot was empty except for one car, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm pushing the cart, and I was far away from that thing. I was trying to park close to the store because it was freezing here in South Carolina. It was cold and windy, and I'm sitting there pushing the cart. I open up the back of the SUV and I load it up. I close it, and I'm about to just walk off, leave the cart there. I look at it, I see some dude just watching me. I'm like, motherfucker, he's going to see me as that guy that I always see and say, fucking loser. But a dude that was sitting in a car. It wasn't the worker. He was just some random dude. I'm like, fuck, and I walked across the parking lot, teeth rattling and shit, the wind whipping through my ears. I got frostbite on my dick. Oh my God, you are so ridiculous. You say the most random shit. And I put the cart back, right? And then I'm walking back, and I look at the guy, and he gives me that look, and he puts his head down and keeps reading his magazine or whatever. Motherfucker, yeah, I thought so, bitch. That's what he was thinking. And I get in the car, and it's fucking late as shit. And I'm like, this son of a bitch beat me at my own game. And I just drove off. You have shit that goes on in your head. Well, he was looking at me. He was waiting to see if I did it. I mean, good that you did that, but who gives a shit who's looking? I don't know why stuff bothers you so much.
In all reality, I was doing the card kid a favor because I had to push it further away from the store to get to a card area.
See, that's not a favor.
Yeah.
Why don't you just bring it up to the store?
Because I was like close to the car. Because like you know how the parking lot's set up at Lowe's. Like you have to walk through all this shit to get to the cars. Because there's like a big like area where there's like a crosswalk to get to the store.
And shit.
Yeah, so I'm like, instead of walking back to the store, because if I'm going to push it up to the door, it can easily roll off because it's like on an incline. So the cart would roll off if I just push it up to the property. I'll have to go in the store, put it, and then turn around and walk out to put it safe where it won't roll and hit cars in the parking lot. Long story short, fuck that guy in the car. He was a piece of shit. He was like a hall monitor, like making sure I had my fucking bathroom pass or some shit. He was just watching me,
Oh my god.
So fuck him. What the hell were we talking about?
I don't know. You went off on a rant about carts.
Yeah, you appreciate. Oh yeah, carts. I hate them. I hated that job. But then again, and thank you for reeling me back in because this is where I wanted to go. So I had that job. I thought it was too good, but this is before we had kids. And then once we had kids, the whole mentality changed, and it's like, okay, gotta hold a job. Can't let you have to eat a little shit in life, Mm-hmm. And now I eat a lot of shit. I eat so much shit. They call me stank breath. Okay, that's what they call me. Okay, stinky breath because I eat so much shit nowadays. And you can't just sit there and get mad and quit. You can't tell your boss to fuck off. You can't threaten to kick someone's ass anymore. You gotta eat some shit. So I guess when they say having children changes you, they either change you one of two ways. You could hold on to that lifestyle and abandon your family, or you could become a family man and just eat shit. And now I eat shit. That's pretty much all I do. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. My keto diet isn't affected because all I do is eat shit now. That's all I do is eat shit. What about yourself? How did having children change you? Because for me, it's basically eating shit all the time now.
I don't know. I don't think it changed me because I was never a partier. I always held jobs down for years. I don't think I ever had a problem. Although I no longer spend money on myself. Like that's an issue that has been a problem with apparently my family. They won't give me gift cards or anything because they know I'm going to send it or I'm going to spend it on the kids. Like my sister years ago used to, for my birthday, back when we actually gave a shit about giving each other stuff, we kind of outgrew that. But she used to give me a Walmart gift card or whatever because, we're there all the time. I would go and I would buy the kids shit. What the fuck do I need? I don't need nothing.
Yeah, exactly. As an adult, all you need is your car, your house, and your health.
Yeah, if shit is okay, and this is a Walmart gift card, I'm gonna go and make sure that the kids get whatever the fuck they need.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy. As long as the kids have what they need, I don't give a crap about anything else. So now it's a whole thing where I don't get money at all unless it's Christmas. Christmas will get money from my dad.
Yeah.
And then that gets put towards
I don't get money either, to be honest with
Christmas or the bills. But
to be honest with you, I don't get money either. My money goes to the bills and that's it, really. Yeah, and to get us a couple of things for ourselves, it's very rare. But
it used to piss me off because I remember one year she gave me the stupid gift card to go get my hair done, and I remember being pissed off. What the fuck am I going to do with this?
Get your hair done, asshole.
She goes. But that's why I got it, because now you have to get your hair done and do something for yourself, and you can't spend it on the kid, because they were babies. The babies can't go get hair done.
Yeah.
So you have to use it on yourself. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. Seriously, I'd rather just spend it on the kids. Oh God, I hate that. But that's just the way I am, I guess.
There is a fine line that I'm starting to learn as an adult, where I'm starting to come back a little bit. Not I'm going to be a self-centered asshole or anything like that, but I do realize the importance of getting something for yourself. And I think that with us, I think we give too much to the kids, if that's a thing. As a parent, you can give too much. They have everything they could possibly ever want. We set them up for such a good life as children. They have everything they could ever want. They don't need for anything. They've always got whatever food they want to eat every day. It sounds like petty shit, but that's true. They have everything they want. They don't have to want or ask for anything. If they ask for something, they get it every single time. Our daughter wanted the Apple TV that we had. We just gave it to her. Here, take it, And
Well, we didn't buy it. We had that somehow. How did we have that?
I don't know.
It was on sale?
I think I brought it at work, or I don't know. I don't remember. Like I bought it for
and
something.
it was sitting there collecting dust. So
she's like, I have to get your
using
hair. And now she has things that no other kid has. So she has her own cell phone. It was top of the line when we got it. The iPhone XR. We got her an iPad. She got a new iPad and all that shit. And like they have everything they could possibly ever want, like more than I've ever had as a kid. These two have, and that's what you want as a parent ultimately, to give your kids things that you kind of wish you had. So I feel like we've done enough to this point as parents where we can kind of be selfish a little bit and maybe get ourselves something once in a while. Didn't it feel good the other day? We went to that comic shop or the 80s shop, and
but
like
we do that.
Yeah, we bought ourselves like a couple T-shirts. You got like that purse for your birthday. So you got a purse. You got the Apple Watch for your birthday. Like things like that. I think we need to do that more often.
More often?
I'm not saying like every week, but maybe like once every.
I don't think we do it enough.
Maybe like once a quarter. Like every 3 months, we should do something like that. Just have a day to ourselves, because I get a day off during the week now. Just go out and do something. Like the kids are in school. Like we can go walk around Broadway at the beach. Go to the mall, buy ourselves something nice, something that we want, because I don't want to sit there and be old and gray and like regret, like, oh, we did everything for the kids, which is a nice gesture. But in the end, like you should do something for yourself too. I think there is a thing as giving too much, and I think we give too much.
And I say fuck that.
Our daughter, Jenna has every toy.
But there's a reason for that.
I know, but like there's a reason, but she has everything.
And I can't throw anything out, so that's why she still has everything.
Yeah, but every time a kid comes over, or whatever, like the few times she's actually had like a guest over or whatever, they see the toy she's got, and oh my god, they freak out.
Yeah.
When we had our guest over the summer, those kids, all the kids saw it, and they were like, holy shit,
They have 3 young adopted kids.
Freaked out. It's like Toys R Us.
Holy hell, yeah. They walked into her, and they would not leave that room.
Yeah.
As soon as they were allowed in there, because we were a little worried, because like Jenna knows if something is missing, so we were a little worried if something was going to get pocketed or misplaced or like put into another room.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find it. Like we just wanted to know where things were. And then we let them in there, and we're like, okay, everything has to stay in this room just so we can easily, at some point, find it if she's looking for it, Yeah. I don't need to be looking all over the house. But once we opened that door, man, it was like, that's it. You didn't hear a peep out of them. They were quiet. They were in there playing. Jenna was loving the hell out of it. And she wasn't playing with them. She was just standing there, like, doing her jumping and, like, laughing hysterically because they were getting so much fun out of all her damn toys.
She was probably having fun because she had friends over, and I think that's what she wanted.
Yeah,
it was
she
nice
thought it was
see.
the fucking greatest fucking thing.
Yeah, it was nice to see her happy, and I don't know, like I would like to ask the people out there.
I do wish we could throw some shit out though.
Yeah, no, maybe one day, maybe we'll see. But I definitely would like to ask the people out there that are parents that listen to the show. Do you guys think that giving too much to your kids is a bad thing? Not like, like they're going to get spoiled rotten, because our kids are not like that. But maybe like you should, like, do you feel like you give too much where you should kind of treat yourself once in a while? I mean, I think it's healthy that we should treat ourselves.
But we do. I don't see, I guess I'm not thinking the way you are.
I guess not. I mean, I don't see us getting that car as a thing for us, because we got it for not selfish reasons. We got it for needs. The kids are getting bigger. We needed a bigger car. The dogs are getting big. We need to take them to get their vet stuff done, and we can't fit them in the old car because they're big. And I don't really care what I'm driving. I'm not a style guy. I would get a big old beat up van if I could for a lot less money, But I had to get something decent because, we can't like get a piece of shit van because it won't last. I had to get something good on gas or whatever, but I don't know. I really do think that that's a thing is doing too much for others. I really think that everyone should pamper themselves once in a while, do something nice. Like I think you should get your hair done. I think you should go to like a fucking thing where you put your feet in that dirty water and let some Asian person scrub the shit out of you.
No, I will never, ever, 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 ever do that.
I think I should go to like a massage parlor and get jerked off afterwards.
I don't. Well, you know what? Don't fucking come home.
Don't come home.
Simple. Flat. Simple.
Yeah, but those little Asian hands make my penis look huge.
I don't give a shit. Don't come home.
The people expect me to say something outlandish once in a while. They expect it at this point.
You're just a nasty man. a nasty, dirty old man that all you want to do is stick your dick in shit. And like, I'm just like, no.
So I have to show you something.
It's a lotto ticket. Why do you waste money on that?
I had $2 in my pocket and in cash because I don't carry cash, right? But I had a couple dollars cash, right? Because I won a bet from someone at work, and it was a $20 bill that I won, and I went and got lunch for myself, and I bought a fish.
An $18 lunch?
No. I bought a fish. I bought a beta fish, and I put it in this little. We had like this thing with our store name on it.
Yeah.
That our area manager, his wife, made it and gave one to each store with candy as a Christmas present, and it was like a globe.
Did you put good water in it?
I put mineral water in there that we had left over, and I let it sit for a while so it got nice and room temperature. Right, it was nice and cleaned out, and then I got a beta fish at the Walmart, and I put it inside the bowl, so we have a mascot now. Okay,
that shit is going to die.
And we got a little bit of fish food. You got to feed it 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day. So I told everyone in the store, I said, listen, whoever opens has to feed it in the morning, and you feed it at around lunchtime, and then you feed it before you leave at night. And we put bets on how long it was going to last.
You guys are such scumbags, man. Seriously?
I said 2 weeks, but I want this thing to live.
Oh my god.
So they were saying,
this poor fish.
Now listen. So we put a picture of it, and like we have like a chat that we all talk in, like the management team, and I put it in there, and I said, "This is our mascot." Everyone was jealous. They thought it was like all the girls thought it was cute. All the guys were like jealous because they didn't think of it. And our store was the one that did it. Right? It was me.
So everyone's going to start having beta fishes.
Yeah,
it's going to be a thing.
One of the girls asked their manager if they can get a dog or a puppy. But I'm
you can't do that.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. I think they were just fucking. Obviously, they were fucking around. So as a team, we're trying to figure out what to name this thing, and everyone was saying, since it's my fish that I purchased, name it Rachel for Rachel Ray.
Oh my god! What is wrong with you people?
And then because I watch it all the time there. But then my manager said, like, hey, my wife wanted to call it Peppermint because it's Christmas time, and I'm like, no, I like Rachel better. But I'm like, you know what? Guess what? If this thing dies and we have to flush it down the toilet, I'd rather flush Peppermint than Rachel Ray. So let's name it Pepper. So our fish's name is Peppermint, Pepper for short. So we say, hey, feed Pepper 3 times a day. I thought you'd get a kick out of it.
You know.
And actually,
I would get a kick out of it if I knew that it was going to survive. But that you have how many people that work in that store?
I actually took a picture of it.
Okay, that's cute. It is like
Pepper.
White and red.
That's Pepper. And
yeah.
I'll post this on Twitter if there's nothing that gives away where I work in the background. Actually, no, there isn't. So I'm going to post a picture on Twitter of Pepper.
Okay, that's cute.
Pepper the fish.
But
so there's Pepper.
It's just
that's the globe thing. So yeah, there you go. Pretty cool, huh?
You got to do. There should be like a feeding chart or something. Someone's going to overfeed it or forget to feed it, and it's just going to die.
There are instructions on the fish that you get a small pinch, and you drop it in there.
But you're off tomorrow.
We have to clean it out at least once a week.
Who's going to do that?
I'll do it. I don't give a shit. I will make sure.
Do you have
Pepper
a scooper?
lives.
Do you have another spot to put the fish in?
There's a thing where it's like the beta container. You pour it in there until the fish falls in, then you clean out the bowl, and then you dump it back in. But yeah, I think it's cool, and we're gonna see, and I'm gonna keep the podcast updated on how long Pepper lives. So we're gonna talk about Pepper.
Okay, so I'm writing it down.
Pepper
this is
updates.
The 20th.
Yes, today's the 20th, 11/20/2019.
Pepper.
See how long Pepper the fish lives.
Mint fish. This is gonna be interesting. Because I used to love my fish tank, man. I loved the hell out of that fish tank. I had some type of fantail guppies, I think they were called. I had a bunch of them in the tank. And then, I don't know, one day I happened to go to feed them, and I saw a bunch of little things swimming around in there.
Uh-huh.
These things were just mating, like, constantly. Like, it was the most ridiculous crap.
I mean, there ain't nothing else to do except for...
But, like, the type of fish I had, like, I had no idea how much they made it. Like, there were babies, and they ate the babies.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So you had to scoop them out, and I had to go and buy, like, a little baby fish net thing that I put them in, get baby formula fish food. Oh, my God. But, like, my fish tank was awesome. Like, I had a castle and, like, colored rocks and stuff. Man, we need to get a fish tank. I missed that. That was like years and years and years ago, and it was so. It was a pain in the butt to clean because it was big, and I had to use that. That's I don't know what it's called, but that stupid tube thing, and it smelled. And it was,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was like it was like a water slide.
Suction thing. Yeah,
It's about the water slide thing. Yeah, that was like connected to the filter to keep the shit clean. We had a fish tank, and I don't know how the hell our fishes lived when we were kids. Well, when I was a kid and they were like teenagers or whatever. We had this big ass glass fish tank. It was always full of water, and I don't know, like no one ever cleaned it out, but we had a filter that was barely ever purchased. I don't know why we had it. And I remember we didn't have fish food sometimes. So I was a weird kid, man. And I was like 8 years old. And I remember I used to get like a chair from the kitchen, drag it out into the living room where the fish tank was and no one was around. And I'd be sitting there looking at the fish and they were like dying. Like I remember like one of them was so skinny because they weren't feeding it. Like we just didn't have the money or people didn't pay attention or care about them. And I remember like one of them, like it had like its ribs were showing because it was getting eaten by other fishes.
Yeah, no.
So... And I was looking at it, and I had like this morbid curiosity, like what the hell's going on? And I told you, like my first apartment we got for really cheap. We lived in one of the most expensive places in America at the time. Middlesex, New Jersey was like number 7 or some shit, the top 10 places to live. And we had a really good deal because my dad was friends with the store owner and this like mansion on top of the store. It was this big ass house on top. It was huge, massive, biggest place I ever lived in. And anyway, it wasn't the cleanest place. That's why he got such a good deal. I mean, like, we had, like, cockroaches, those little German ones, right? So what I would do is I would get a bunch of them, like capture the cockroaches. Like, I wouldn't, like, touch them, but I would, like, scoop them up in, like, a cup, and I would sprinkle them in the fish tank, and the fish would eat them. And I don't know, like, I was just a weird kid because I grew up in such a fuck, like, no one watched me. I would just do weird shit. And I remember I went to the pet store, and I got a newt, which are, like, little... amphibious lizards, and they could live in water. And I remember dropping one in there.
Oh my god, dude! And they ate it?
Well, no, they couldn't. The newt was like fighting them and shit. And he like,
oh my god, that's horrible.
But like, I thought that was how it was supposed to be. Like, I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna get a cool, because I had a friend who like loved lizards, and he had like a really cool pond in his backyard. He had money, obviously, because it was a rich town. I used to go swimming at his house. And he had this pond where, I guess, goldfish, he had like really small ones and really large ones because they can live and they grow to their surroundings. So I can put one in this cup here that I'm drinking my liquor out of.
There's certain...
and it would stay small. But if you put it in a big-ass pond, it would grow as big as it could because it adapts to its surroundings.
There are certain areas in Schenectady that have like mansions like from way the hell back.
Yeah.
And those people all have like those ponds in their backyard where they just throw like fucking goldfish in there. And they get freaking massive, like the biggest freaking fish ever. But man, we need to get a goldfish again because I think Jenna, because she likes the aquarium so much.
Oh yeah,
probably.
I would love to get a fish. And we were looking at a couple at PetSmart.
Yeah, I know, and it wasn't that expensive.
It was cheap,
and we have a good spot for it. It's just,
we have a beautiful spot for it. We can get lights and make it like all hooked up. Maybe I could bring Pepper home and take care of her.
But then we can't put nothing else in there because you got a beta fish.
That's a beta. Betas will fuck shit up.
You can't put nothing else in there.
The reason why we got a beta is because they like small, confined areas. They like their own shit. They like their own space. They love it, you know?
The bigger the tank, the harder it is to clean. That's the only problem.
You know what I'm worried about? Are cleaners. We have cleaners that come in when no one else is around fucking with it.
Oh, see?
I just thought about that. I just literally thought about that.
The fish is dead. There you go. You're going to go back to work, and it's going to be dead.
Remember all the Halloween candy?
Oh, was it gone? They took it?
There was a substantial size missing of candy. Like, the thing was full. We filled this big-ass bowl of candy.
Yeah.
And I came in the next morning, and I'm like, they ate a lot of candy last night. And then one of the guys came in, he was like, did you eat candy? I'm like, dude, I don't eat that shit.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, you did. I'm like, no, I didn't. I was like, it's probably the fucking cleaners. And then he's like, yeah, right, you ate candy. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking eat candy. So we went and watched the cameras. And actually, it was a store manager was watching the camera. And apparently he didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't care, you know, like I don't care at this point. But I started fucking with them. I'm like, yeah, I lost interest. I'm not going to sit there and watch a camera, you know. I have shit to sell. And so I went back out there, and I guess he said, like, they didn't do it. So I guess these motherfuckers at my job love candy. They just ate the shit out of that candy.
Oh, so the night after
I left, yeah, apparently they didn't.
Oh.
Because I guess there was an issue with them before where they ate, like, candy bars from previous management team, like, would leave shit out on the sales floor or in the back room, and they were eating shit.
I mean, every day we can throw in a handful. I'm trying to get rid of this damn candy.
I can bring the whole
Every
thing.
time someone sells something, just chuck it at them. There
Hey,
you go.
If you want, I will bring the rest of that candy in.
I don't get, because then, I mean, the kids are going to know that their candy's gone. Like, I try to
Never.
give, like, a handful away at a
Yeah, I mean,
time.
I'm sick of it being in the house, but
So am I.
yeah, I'm talking
I
about
hate
work way
candy.
too much. We were talking about fucking Pepper, and I just got this whole work tangent. No one wants to hear about my job. They don't want to hear about it.
Well, I'm really curious about this fish, so I definitely want updates. Like,
You will get updates on Pepper, the cutest fish ever.
like
the cute beta.
That happened today that you got him?
I got today, yes. Yes, I got Pepper today. And I took a picture and I put it in the team. That was the picture that I showed you. I'm going to put that on Twitter later. You know, I'm going to put a picture of Pepper out. The picture of Pepper. I'm going to... Peter Pepper... Pickle... How the fuck do you say that one? But anyway, that's a really cool fish.
God.
It's awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm going to throw it on Twitter.
He's an ugly fish. That's the one you picked out? I see a nice
beta.
blue one would be so cute.
I got a beta because it's cheap, and the
Well,
thing
blue,
about betas...
Betas come in blue.
Well, the thing about the beta fish that I got was it says, like, description, it likes small areas, and that bowl is very small. It's probably about like this.
Yeah.
They like, because they like their own territory. They hate other fish. They hate sharing big spaces. They get like freaked out. They fight. They're angry.
And it sucks because they're like the prettiest fish.
They are. They got these beautiful, like, and you just see the way it swims. It's really cool. But it was a fighter, man. When I was trying to get in that bowl, it was like jumping and shit. I was like, this son of a bitch is a fighter. So I had to put the lid on top until it calmed down. I took the lid off, and that was fine.
It was jumping out of the bowl?
No, it was fighting when I was pouring it out of the cup into the bowl. It was like jumping, like trying to stay in there, and it fell in, and it was fine.
I don't know, but yeah. Now that you talk about that, now I want a damn fish tank. So thank you.
We'll get a fish tank, and we'll get a beta fish and put it in its own little section of it, so it can bang its head against the glass trying to get to the other fish.
That's mean. You can't do that. You're so mean.
I'm not mean.
Oh
I'm
my
not mean at all.
No, we're not. If we get a fish tank, it ain't gonna be no damn beta fish in there.
So, I want to talk to you about something real quick, because we are approaching the halfway point of the show. What I want to talk about is a really cool program out there, because there's a lot of big events coming up. There's a lot of big things that happened recently. You had the Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal fight. You have a whole bunch of big-time football games coming up. You know, you got Georgia out there fighting. Shout out to our fan, Georgia Bulldogs. Let's go Bulldogs. You know, a lot of NFL games coming up. You know, it's going to be playoff season in a couple of months. We're getting down to nitty-gritty. A bunch of teams are just playing these big-time games right now, and my Giants, of course, suck. But if I did want to bet on my Giants, there's only one place the nerd would go, and that's my bookie. Are you the type of fan that knows football so well that you could choose any game and call it? Well, my bookie's the place for you, because they let you turn all your sports knowledge into cash in your wallet. Between football season, NBA, and the start of college basketball season, it's time to get off the sideline and get in on the action with my bookie. If you're the kind of guy who likes to bet a little to win a lot, try a parlay. For instance, if you like a couple of the big favorites this week, parlays are perfect because they let you bet multiple games together for a much bigger payout. So, if you're going to bet this season, do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag, because no one gives you more ways to win. You tired of watching games from the couch with nothing to gain? MyBookie wants to get your mind off everything else and back on the game. Plus, if you join right now, MyBookie will match your deposit halfway, all the way up to $500. That means if you deposit $1,000, you get an extra $500 in free money to play with. Just use promo code LATEFEES. That is our code that will give you that extra $500. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. Tell them the nerd sent you, and please win some money. And if you win some money, you can buy some of our shit at tpublic.com. I'm just going to tie all these things together. You can buy some t-shirts, Voice of Misery Podcast. Use all that money from mybookie.ag using our promo code LATEFEES.
We got t-shirts other places too.
We got t-shirts everywhere. You can also go to Big Heads, and you could also look Voices of Misery, and there you go. You can buy our t-shirts there. We're everywhere, man. We're like fucking gonorrhea.
Oh my god! What? Oh my god!
But that was a good read, man. I really enjoyed my bookie. So anyway, bet on the Giants and lose money to me, because I'll pick every team the Giants are playing against, because I know they're never going to win. And that's that. We're back, you bitch. Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh wait, it's not Christmas time yet. Why does that shit start so soon?
Did you say we were taking a break?
No, I didn't say we're taking a break. They're not supposed to know that.
Well, you
God
just said
damn
we're
it.
back.
Yeah, but because we're back. Because I said the commercial. Because I did a commercial.
Oh.
God damn it! You're just fucking up, man. And this whole thing, we're supposed to be professionals.
Dude, we haven't been professionals since day one. I don't know what you're talking
We've
about.
done like 160 episodes almost. God damn it! We're supposed to get better at this. You're supposed to be moving forward, not backwards. You know what the funny thing is?
But I can't read your mind. Can we talk about that?
We're sitting
You said something
in front
to
of a
me today.
$30 mic, and next to us are $100 mics.
I don't give
On
a
the
shit
floor.
about that. I already said I'm over it.
Me too.
You texted me today at 2:44. Now you went to work about 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Hadn't heard from you all day, right?
Yeah.
Very
I was,
quiet.
I was
Lately-
busy buying fish.
Lately, you've been very, very quiet. So today, 2:44, I get a text. It's the season, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck does that mean? So of course, I'm very excited because we are getting closer and closer to
Yeah.
my favorite holiday on the video game that DC Universe, and so the holiday season's coming up for that game. So I'm like, what do you mean, DCUO? And of course I get excited, like, oh my god, is there a download? I need to turn the PlayStation on, like, what's going on? And then I say, what are you talking about? And then of course you say something back like, it's clapping season.
It's clapping season.
And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, you freaking moron. Like, you say the most random stuff and I'm supposed to automatically assume what you're talking about.
'Tis the season to clap it out. Fa la 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 la.
So
la,
fucking
la, la.
stupid. Like, you send me random text and then wonder why I don't understand what the hell you're talking about.
Well, last topic I wanted to talk about, for work at least, is something that happened to me on the way out. So I'm getting ready. I'm saying my goodbyes. I'm saying goodbye to Pepper. I'm just, like I'm rubbing the bowl and saying goodbye. And I'm saying goodbye to people. We had a really good day. We had a good past couple of days, I guess, right? And I'm talking to people, and one of the girls had a customer, and it was like a young girl. And I walk over and I'm like, hey, you need anything before I leave, and blah, blah, blah. I gave this person codes, which means like they can do manager shit when I'm not there, because I don't want people calling me asking me for shit, even though they did. But anyway, and the girl she was helping, she goes, "What's your name?" to me, right? And but she said it like a suggestive, like, "Hey, what's your name?" Like that. I guess I don't know how to do a girl voice, but hey, what's your name?
You're so stupid.
And she had like the googly eyes and shit. So I'm like, oh fuck, this is weird. This is awkward. This is awkward. And of course, like I go into like my retail, like I can combat shit. So like I always have a comeback immediately when people say something stupid, because my whole thing is I get people to laugh, they like me, and then they buy shit from me. Like it's worked for me for almost 8 years now, and it's been keep me going for this long. So I'm like, I'll tell you my name if you buy
Such and
X,
such, yeah.
which is our major product. And she was like, oh, I can't do that because I love my mom. And I'm like, all right. This person is between the ages of like 17 and 20, 16 and 20. She looked young. And I think I look young for my age. Maybe. I mean, like, I'm not saying I look great or anything, but I guess I look young for my age, especially because I lost the weight and I shave now. Like, I used to have like a nasty, long, weird beard thing going on.
Oh my god. Get over that, because no, you didn't. Anyways,
You don't think this thing was long? The goatee?
not when we were together. We've
I used to
been
tie it.
14
I
years.
used to tie it
You
in braids.
never, ever
I
did
used,
that.
I used to do rubber bands and shit around it. Remember that?
I've seen pictures. I've
Yeah.
never, ever seen you do that.
I did it at the old apartment. I used to take rubber bands and I used to have a
I don't
bunch of
remember
them.
that.
Well,
Because
we
I would
also
not allow
did.
that.
We did a lot of vodka back then. We drank a lot of vodka.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I
would
remember.
not let
I had
no.
a little bag of like different color rubber bands. I would tie them around the house when I was drunk.
I don't remember that at all.
But anyway, what the fuck? Where the fuck was I going with this whole story?
Some young
But
girl
anyway,
flirting with you.
She was young
we
as
move
shit.
on.
And yeah, it was just the weirdest thing. So I'm like, dude, this is the kid. And then as I walked away, I was getting ready to leave. The person helping her was like, he's old enough to be your dad. And the truth is, I am, So it gave me a little pep in my step as I got in the car.
Oh,
like,
get over yourself.
Someone asked me my name. I'm getting in the car. I'm driving
He's
off.
doing a stupid move right now.
A little drummer boy walk.
Seriously.
Dun, 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 dun,
God, that's all we need is someone else to blow up your fucking head. Like,
Well, I mean, someone needs to blow me around here.
well, you know what? I don't know what to tell you.
So we were talking the other day too, because I was at the store and I was at Walmart, and there was a couple different instances that happened there. So I was walking through the store.
We really need to stop mentioning
No.
Walmart. Can we just
we're not going to put it in the title because we put Walmart in the title a lot. And you notice
because that's the only place we ever go. Can we just start saying like the big store?
We went to the big box store the other day, right? And as I was walking through the store, I noticed that people there at the time of day that I go are really lonely. Because I walk through the store and like I look like a professional guy going to work. Like I got like my work gear on. Like I got like a thing. Like I just got the shower shaved or whatever, and I got this little pep in my step. I'm just trying to get where I need to go and get the fuck out, right? And the people that are at Walmart or big box store, fuck it, it's Walmart, goddammit.
No, but they don't pay us.
At like 9 o'clock in the morning, well, they don't pay anybody. They're rich. At like 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever, they're like old people or whatever. They're just looking for someone to talk to. They want someone in their life, I guess, for some reason. And when I walk in there, there's always these people. They got 2 park benches on either side in that particular Walmart. And there's always old people. There's always this one old man who's always talking to himself and always asking for shit. He goes, "You got me? You got me?" Every time you walk in there, "You got me?" He wants money. He's got his hand out. He goes, "You got me?" to everybody. And he's sitting there every fucking morning. It never fails. He's always there. And I just walk past him every day. I go in there. I get my shit. But in every aisle, there's someone that is trying to make eye contact. Like it's like their first line of attack is to make eye contact. So I'm sitting there walking through the aisle because I always get the same shit. I always grab myself a little container of almonds, salt and vinegar almonds, and I'll get a couple Bang energy drinks to get me through the day.
I thought, can we stop for a second? I thought you were going to quit the Bang.
I can't.
Because it made you sick.
It makes my stomach hurt if I drink
too much
really quick. But if I space it out throughout the day, it still hurts a little bit, but not as bad. Maybe I'm getting an ulcer. I don't fucking know. But they taste great. They're amazing.
I understand they taste good. What's your favorite kind?
I don't know, because I kind of fluctuate a little bit. It used to be Star Blast. Now it's Sour Heads. Before it was Cherry Limeade. So there's so many.
They all sound nasty. Like, I don't know. Oh.
Well, they're all good. Most of them are good. There's some of them that are really fucking terrible.
But they're like 5-hour energy, right? They give you a ton of energy, or
not really. For the first time I had one, I remember I was feeling like loopy. I was dizzy and shit. But now,
that's
I think I built up a tolerance. I think I built up a tolerance to it now, where I can drink 2 in a day, and I'm like, all right, this is pretty good. It just keeps me going, I guess. Like it's become part of a routine for me, I guess. I could probably quit them because I can quit anything. I quit everything that really fucked with me. I quit sugar, carbs, and all this other shit. I quit cigarettes. I can quit Bang energy drinks. It's not that hard, but I like them. They're really good, and I don't drink sugar or flavored drinks anymore. And that has all the flavor in a can with no sugar, no calories, no carbs, or anything like that. So
what's better, that or Red Bull?
That
how you feel, not diet wise.
Red Bull's better for how I feel.
Okay.
But Red Bull has carbs. Bang doesn't. So I buy Bang, and because it doesn't fuck with my diet or way of living or whatever you want to call it. But you're getting me off topic here. I'm talking about people making eye contact, and when you make eye contact, but when you make eye contact, they smile at you and they look at you and they want to talk to you.
Oh, that doesn't mean they want to talk.
But they make eye contact, and then they have that thing where they start opening their mouth, where like their mouth opens in slow motion and words are about to come out. So you have to kind of turn to your cart and take the fuck off. Oh, and that's what I do. So I'll sit there and I'll be walking down the aisle, and when there's like not like an end cap, but in the middle they got like a stack of shit for you to buy. Yeah. And there's like an aisle here, an aisle there, and in the middle there's like a pallet of like water or some shit. And I'll be walking on the left-hand side, and I'll see someone coming up, and they're raising their head to make eye contact. I'll jump to the other side of the pallet and walk on the opposite side of traffic or whatever you want to call it.
Why do you look at people?
I know, I don't, but I look up occasionally so I don't bump into somebody, because that makes it even worse.
Just look straight ahead.
Because then you have to talk to them. I do that too. I do that a lot. And I'll be staring straight ahead where you can tell I'm not looking at you, but I'll see someone looking at me. And it's almost like they're trying to will my eyes to look into their eyes.
Dude, this is so
Which is crazy. I don't know. It's fucking crazy, man. I don't know if it's just my mind, the way it works.
This is so dumb.
But I was... I was in and out the other day, like looking for toys for Jenna's prize box, because I do that at least once a week. I'll run right to the toy outlet, see if there's anything new for her.
Oh god!
And there's always some old bitch that asks me if I need help. No one at Walmart asks if you need help. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care if you need help. They don't ask, and if they see a customer coming, they'll run away. But for some reason, when I go into an aisle, "Hi, sir, do you need help?" Oh, because I gotta fucking talk to somebody. Why does it happen to me every time?
Dude, I can't.
Do you think?
Because this is so stupid.
Do you think? I'm going to ask you an honest question. Do you think there really aren't people there? But I go into an aisle and I see a worker that's just a figment of my imagination, and someone behind me, they might be walking in that aisle.
Now you're being even more ridiculous.
They might be walking around and be like, "Wait, why is that guy screaming at something that's not there?" But in my head, I'll see a real Walmart worker. You think that's happening?
So now you're saying that you're like legit crazy?
I don't know. Maybe because
I know
I have these experiences that you don't like think happens to real people.
No,
So maybe it's a figment.
I think you just think too much into stuff. Like I how many times do we go to the store together?
Yeah.
That shit does not happen to me. I get in, I get out.
No.
I don't make eye contact with people.
Oh no. You told a story the other day about a neighbor who gave you a hug because you were reaching for something behind her.
That was my mistake. I had opened my mouth and said, "Can get the hell out of my way."
Yeah, well then there you go. So you had your own experience. I have this shit happen a lot.
But no, you're talking. But that's different. You're talking about people are literally trying to make eye contact with you.
I break it down.
You're trying to walk down an aisle.
I break it down to the bare molecules.
It's so stupid.
The problem. It's like the beginning stages of fucking
like you think
craziness.
In your head, like you've mentioned it before, like you're on the Truman Show,
yeah,
and everyone's there for you. So you feel like when you're going down an aisle, like the person that's coming from the opposite direction is there to piss you off.
Well, I think the thing is just like I think everyone feels like they're in their own Truman Show because you are the star of your life. You are the main character of your life. Everyone else is the guest star. Like, let's say if I woke up in the morning and then all of a sudden, like, the theme song played for the nerds wake up out of bed. You know, like, it would show me, then show you, then show the kids, then show the dogs, and then I go to work, and then all these guest stars. And I guess everyone feels that way at least once or twice in life.
I never
where you feel
ever felt that way.
That you're the star of your own show. Everything revolves around, because it does revolve around you. The whole world revolves around you. It revolves around the person listening to the show. We could just be a radio voice in someone else's world. You know, like they could be listening to the Voices of Misery podcast.
See,
they're the star of their show.
Dude,
I'm getting deep. So let's say Wolf is listening right now, right? Because we know Wolf. We love Wolf. He listens to the show a lot. He listens to every single one of them, right? He's a star of his own show. We're just a radio voice. We're fake people. Mm-hmm. He closes his eyes in bed and we disappear until he wakes up and listens to the next one. Then we show up again and now we're guest stars in his world, you know?
Oh, God.
It's creepy shit, man. You think about this, you know? And I have no pot in me right now. And I'm sitting here coming up with this because this is how I think all the time. I think everyone's a star of their own movie. And then the movie fades to black and you die. So there you go.
Well, shit. I mean...
And there's no sequels in this fucking film, man. There's no reincarnation in this bitch. There's no reincarnation in this bitch, man. Alright, so answer me this then. So we're talking about Walmart and just grocery stores. It doesn't have to be Walmart. It can be a supermarket, right? You don't think it's weird when you look over and someone's already smiling at you?
But see, you think too much into stuff. That's weird?
Why are they smiling?
Like, to be friendly.
But why do you have to smile, man? Why do you gotta smile?
Like,
I think that's weirder than anything else.
No, like, you know, you make eye contact with someone or something like that. Like, you don't have to open your mouth. Like, just, you know, to be friendly. Like, I'll do like a slight nod. You know, like, you know,
I'll give a head
I see
nod.
you, and just move about my whatever mission I'm on. But, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, hey, how are you? Like, I don't, no, that's not happening. But, like, if for some odd, weird-ass, warped reality where someone is, like, I look around and someone's smiling at me, like, it's just a head nod and move on. So I don't know. That does not happen to me very often because I don't pay attention. Like, I have, like, blinders on. When we're in a store, like, I want to get in, get out, do what I gotta do, and like, I don't pay attention to who the fuck is around me. I don't care.
I'm hypersensitive to everything around. I think that's the problem, but
I just do not care. I'm there for a reason. Let me get what I gotta get, and then go the fuck home, and that's it.
I guess the only reason you should smile is if there's a child in my cart, like a shopping cart. You know, like if we put Jen in the shopping cart, we're going through, like an old person smiles
really,
at the kid.
Is someone really smiling because we have a 10-year-old in a fucking cart?
Yeah, well, she's autistic and she's special.
But
the big ass pair of headphones and shit.
Outside looking in.
Yeah, they don't know that. They're probably
It's
like, what
weird.
the fuck is that? You know, like,
Right.
what's wrong with that kid? Yeah.
Why is that? Because
Yeah.
I used, like, before we had her,
Yeah.
I used to see that and be like, what the fuck is wrong with these parents? Why? Like, that kid is old enough to walk.
Yeah.
But now that we have her, obviously I feel differently. But outside looking in, that is some weird shit that you're seeing, right? You don't automatically think, oh, that kid, they're probably grabbing stuff off the shelf or has broken things in the past that, caused a mess or wanders. You don't think that.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, because seriously,
it
before
makes
we had
sense.
her, like, that's what I would think. Like, what?
Yeah.
That kid is that fucking
I
spoiled.
thought the same shit too.
That it's in the cart
Yep.
and the parents are pushing it around. But
It's in the
that's
cart.
now.
It. I
Well,
know,
okay,
that was
boy,
funny.
girl, whatever.
That's
Like, it's in the cart. And it's being, but now that's
Yeah,
we're
I
that
mean,
family, so
yeah,
I
we're
can't
that
really
family, I guess.
say anything. But like, I don't think I think when we get looked at, that's the type of thoughts that are going through people's heads. Like, oh,
Yeah.
not that's cute,
Yeah.
Because
Because sometimes
but I
we'll
don't
be sitting
care.
there and like people will say, "Hey, she's so pretty. Look at her hair, so cute,
Yeah.
or whatever." And
Yeah, 'cause
that's
she's got that curly ass
yeah.
fucking hair.
She's got that. What was that show? Felicity.
Yes,
She's got that hair. That Kerry Washington or
No.
what the hell was her name? Kerry
No.
something or whatever. She hasn't done shit since that movie or that TV show.
it was Felicity. I don't.
Yeah,
remember
it was
what the hell her
Felicity.
name
She
was.
shaved her hair and Kerry Russell.
There you go.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I guess, like, don't smile at me in supermarkets, please, because, like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. This goes the whole eye contact thing, I guess, and I don't know. It just makes me feel weird. Like, everyone has an ulterior motive. Like, you're gonna ask me for money, like that guy who sits outside of Walmart and goes, "You got me? You got me?" with his hand out and shit. Who the fuck are you, dude? And why are you always out here? I don't know. But I guess, like, the last thing I wanted to talk about with, like, supermarkets and shit, like, there's so many fucking handicap spots. And it seems like handicap spots are taking over the entire parking lot.
Down here.
Where, like, you pull up to a certain area and the first 8 rows are handicap spots. And it's like they're never filled whenever we go there. It's not like every handicap spot is full. Maybe like 2 or 3. So you got to pass by all these open spots.
In
to
every lane.
get to a regular spot.
Well, see, up north we had 2 or 3 in like 2 lanes. The front 2 lanes right in front of the doors.
Yeah.
You would have 2 or 3 handicap spots, but down here, because it's a retirement area, people coming down here to retire because it's warmer weather or whatever. It's half the damn parking lot. The whole half the parking lot is handicapped. So, I mean, it can be annoying, especially when they're all fucking empty. And it's not even... Parking spots normally go side to side.
Yep.
Down here in certain stores, they go up and down.
Yep.
So it's like you're parallel parking
To
in
get
the
into a
aisle.
spot, yeah.
In the parking lot, which takes up 2 parking spots.
And the way it's designed is it's stupid. And I don't know if they do it to fit more cars in, because I don't see it as fitting more cars in. It's just weird because, like, they're diagonal.
They're diagonal, so you
They're
could
not north
be
and
fitting.
south. They're like east and west, and they're just weird the way they're set up.
You could, the way they are, you could fit 4 different handicap spots in that
Yep.
one section. If you have 2 handicap spots, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 could go to each one.
Yeah.
But because the car is parked sideways instead of like the way it should be parked, you're taking up all that damn space, and I don't understand why they
So,
have that.
I mean, I'm trying to explain how the Walmart area works, because I don't like their parking spots. So let's say if you're looking at a clock, a regular clock, like a school clock, when you're looking at, oh, it's almost 3 o'clock to go home, you know? Picture 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock and 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And, like, you have to park in that instead of, like, 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock,
Okay,
5
you're
o'clock.
losing people.
So basically, like, if you picture a clock, this or this, all the Walmart parking spots are like this. So you're coming in like this, you got to go like this instead of going in like this. You know what I mean?
But people are listening. They have no idea what you're saying.
God damn it! Figure it out, people. Look,
No.
just pause the podcast, look at the clock, and do the thing I'm trying to say.
Okay, so now we're talking about the normal.
The shape of the
Regular
parking space.
parking
like
spots
you have
that-
to you have to go in on a slant and not straight in.
Okay.
Basically,
So you have the handicap ones that are completely
down.
like
Yeah.
parallel parking,
yeah.
and then you have the regular parking spots that are diagonal. So you have to come in from a certain section because if you come in from the other way, I think we have to back up like 10 times for you to get that damn car in.
It's just because, like, let's say if the store's to the right, the parking spots are to the left, and we're in the middle of the parking lot or whatever, the parking spaces and the store, we have to turn left. But all the slants are the opposite way, so we have to drive all the way around in a fucking circle, counterclockwise, to come in the other way to get to a spot where you get to slide right in. So if it's just an awkward angle to get into these spots where your car is perfectly centered in there. And it's not like, oh, you're a terrible driver. No, because like there's already a full parking lot. You have to get in there without getting hit or hitting somebody because there's so many fucking people coming in and out. And the cars don't actually get in there because they have a hard time parking because they're fucked up. And like you're trying to get in there, but it's just so tough.
Well, we're talking about the tourist Walmart down here because not all Walmarts down here are like that.
They're like taking up 3 spots and you're trying to squeeze in somewhere.
Horrific.
And Walmart has that false alarm spot. We're like, oh shit, there's a parking spot, and then you start to turn in, and it's a cart corral because they're like invisible down here, and until you get next to it, you can't see where the hell you're parking. So fuck that shit, man. It's just really annoying. But like, if we go to the school, they have perfectly like the generic, like perfectly lined. You slide right in, you slide right out, you're good to go. For some reason, Walmart has to change the mold, and they just put you somewhere stupid, and it's just freaking idiotic. One thing you can't buy at Walmart is our other sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce this. Support for the Voices of Misery comes from Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. That's right, your balls. Jingle balls to the walls. Fellas, listen up. Untrimmed pubes are a thing of the past. It's time to gear up and get yourself to get the shaving this holiday season. I'm talking about the Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0.
Oh, God.
I'm going to tell a quick story here, okay?
Here we go.
When I had this wall shaver, W-A-H-L, it was something that, like, you buy a big razor for your head, and then there was, like, another shaver for your neck. I would sit there and use one on the other, and I would bleed, and I would scalp myself. I'd fucking just hurt myself really bad. You hear me screaming from the other room. And then one day, I'm like, let me try this on my balls. My fucking twig and berries, right? And I'm sitting there shaving myself, and it hurt so bad. I was crying. I had tears in my eyes. I had blood running from my balls.
What are you doing?
Fucking, and everything came off but the hair. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way. Then I found out about Manscaped. That's why this company redesigned the electric trimmer. They cut their dicks off half the time, I'm sure. And the guys that cut their dicks off made something that other people wouldn't cut their dicks off with. Their lawnmower 2.0. Better than a 1.0. A lot better. Trust me.
It's called a lawnmower?
It's called the lawnmower because it cuts everything but the yard. It cuts the grass, and I'm trying to cut my grass and not the yard. It has proprietary advanced skin-safe technology, so this trimmer won't nick or snag your balls and your nuts. It's also waterproof, so you can use it in the shower, which is great because I can do 2 things at once, and you don't have to worry about wasting time. You can shave your balls, you can wash your armpits or whatever you got to do. You can take a nice shower. The Lawnmower 2.0 comes inside the Perfect Package 2.0, which makes it the perfect gift this holiday season. It's literally everything you need to keep trimmed, cut-free, and smelling nice down there. Don't use the same trimmer in your face as you're using in your balls. That's just nasty. And guess what? Quick side note. I remember trying to give your dad the same shaver I use on my balls.
You freaking
because
did.
he wanted a close shave. And I tried to give it to him. I told him, this is why I use my ball sack.
You waited until you shaved his head, and then you told him.
Yeah, I told him,
was
yeah.
Pissed.
But it wasn't as close as the Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0 can get you. It also includes the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant in your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant in the smelliest part of your body? And yes, your balls stink, and you have complained about mine from time to time.
Oh my god.
Speaking of sweaty and stinky balls, I am thankful for the Crop Reviver. This product, along with the Crop Preserver, keep your balls from sweating, smelling, and sticking. And you know what? When I'm sitting in the sauna doing a solo podcast, sometimes I sit there and it gets hot. And I'm sitting there and I'm doing that thing where I'm like shaking out my leg. I feel like a dog that just took a shit. You like shake your back leg.
What is happening?
Just to get the balls from like the leg sticky. You use this Crop Reviver and the Crop Preserver, and I'll tell you what, man, your balls will not stick to your legs anymore, and they will smell great day and night. And these products do smell good. Their manly scent is attractive and will help set the mood, if you know what I mean, man. I'll tell you what, when I put some of this on the other night, and you smelled it.
Oh, shut up.
You were very excited. Don't tell me you weren't.
Oh, God.
The perfect package will also come with a pair of Manscaped boxer briefs that'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day. They're sweat absorbent. It's time to upgrade those overused pair of boxers to Manscaped's high-performance anti-chafing boxer briefs. No more hurt balls. They're going to feel great all the time, and these are very form-fitting. 'Tis the season to Manscaped, so get yourself, your dad, your brother, and friends the best gift of all, the Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0. And guess what? You get 20% off plus free shipping with the code MISERY at manscaped.com. That is MISERY at manscaped.com. Your balls and woman will thank you. There you go. You didn't like that one? Did you not like that one?
This is fucked up, man.
What?
Oh,
What?
God.
I love Manscaped, and I'll tell you what.
How do we keep getting this kinker shit?
My balls are so smooth. They're like a baby's butt smooth, okay? And tonight, I'm going to tell you a little secret, all right,
You're
guys?
not. Nope.
I used my Manscaped before we got in the podcast, and she is in for a surprise tonight. Because I did
No.
use the ball preserver as well, okay? And they smell great. So, honey bunches of oats.
My God, dude.
One thing I did want to talk to you about is because your mother-in-law dropped a bomb on you the other day about something that they're doing at the bar and picking up at the bar.
Oh.
And I wanted to give you the floor so you can tell our listeners what their latest exploits were at the bar.
Well, apparently she's buying, like, pot at the bar, which I had no idea that
Let's
was
just dive right in, shall we?
a fucking thing. Like, I don't understand. Like, she kind of let it slip the other day when she was over here. And I don't think that she meant to. But she talks so much and doesn't think before she speaks half the time that she kind of just, like, blurted it out. 'Cause she's the type of person, and I've said it before, that these type of people drive me nuts. And I love her to death, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't like people that are just like, well, my friend so-and-so, and then just start telling you their whole life story. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't know this person.
I don't know this person.
I'm never going to know them.
I don't care where they're from or what the hell they're... Like, unless it's, like, something seriously quick. But when you're going into, like, detail about people I don't know, like, I'm already tuned out. Like, I could care less. So she was talking about her friends at the bar or whatever... And, you know, this one's doing that, and this one's doing... And I'm completely zoned out. Like, please, are they gonna fucking leave anytime soon? And then all of a sudden, like, it got brought up. She must have gotten a text or something happened that she needed to go over there on Tuesday because they have her shit. And so, I'm sitting there and I'm paying attention because the two of them are talking. Her and my father are talking. And, well, she's got my gummies over there. And I said...
Oh, boy.
I said, what gummies? And she goes, oh, well, you know, they over at the bar. Like, she's whispering to me. Like, I'm, like, gonna... Like, I don't understand.
Like your father doesn't know what the hell she's spending his money on. Yeah, exactly.
Over at the bar, my friend, you know, she slips me some pot, and then she slips me some gummies, too. And I'm like, well, how much does that cost? And, of course, she couldn't come up with a number.
Yeah.
You know. So I have no idea how much she's spending on it. I'm sure it's, like, way too much.
Because they overpay for everything. They're idiots.
I'm just like, when the fuck did that even start? Like, I have... what the fuck is going... How does that get brought up? When you're sitting at a bar, like, how do you... just start talking to someone, because I don't trust people.
Me neither.
So I can't imagine like going to a bar and having a beer and being like, you know what, I really wish I could buy some pot right now. Like, how does that come up?
It's just a really strange topic, and the fact is like your parents. I mean, like I guess we'll say parents, even though she's just your father's wife. That's not your real.
Well, at this point, I'm
Yeah.
going to start saying
Yeah.
parents, because everyone
that's
knows
fine.
I don't talk to my mom anymore. So
That's fine. So your parents,
she's my mother and whatever.
the kind of drunks that they are, is they get very open and honest, and they talk shit, they over embellish things, and they're just, everyone's their friend, you know. And I'm sure people see an easy mark when they know one, and I can guarantee you're not going to meet lifelong friends at a bar, especially people that are regulars. Like, they have their own little thing, their own little network. They probably see these two drunks that throw their money around freely. I'm sure they buy rounds of beers and everything. And no one,
I
no
guarantee
one here
it.
is paying for anything. I'm buying everything, because your dad's the kind of guy that would say that.
Yeah.
No one pays for a drink when I'm around.
Acting
I'm the
like
coolest
he's
guy,
won
like he's
the
a
lotto.
fucking millionaire.
Yeah. Yep.
When he's spending his like dinner for the next month.
My inheritance.
Yeah,
like
he's spending all his money on this shit.
it's dwindling away because he keeps withdrawing more and more money.
He is done. He has to live this lifestyle where he's a baller when he's not.
Yeah.
He never was. He throws his money around like he's fucking what the hell's the guy's name? Ted Turner or whatever. The guy who used to own TNT, TBS, whatever. He throws his money around, you know. So I can guarantee you that these people were probably a close-knit bunch of fucking, you know, hillbillies that own this bar. Probably, hey, these people are fucking dumbass Yankees from New York. Let's just fuck with them, you know. And I guarantee you they buy their pot for a lot more than what they would give to the regulars that go to the bar. They see them as money marks. They're idiots.
It was very shady to me because I literally said, well, how much is that?
Yeah.
Because if you're telling me you're getting half and half, so half of it is pot that you smoke, and then half of it is gummies, you're buying a good amount, right? So,
I'm
like,
sure.
how much is that costing you?
A couple $100, I'm sure.
I was literally just being curious, and it was like, like pretending to do math in her head. Well, I don't know.
It's an easy answer.
And I'm just like, okay, so I'm not going to get a straight answer. And it's just like, you know, whatever. I was just curious, like, but it boggles my mind. And then my birthday came, which was yesterday, which was Tuesday, and that's the day she's supposed to go and pick the stuff up. And she texts me at 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be heading to the bar. It's your birthday. Do you want to go and hang out for a couple hours? And I'm like, no. Number one, I don't drink during the day. I always hold out. I do not drink all day long. I wait until much later before I even open a beer.
Lesson. You know, from way back when.
Well, yeah, before we had the kids.
Yeah, before we had the kids. Way before we had the kids.
But, like, I drink much later. So what the fuck am I going to do at a bar? She's like, well, you can sit there and you can have your Pepsi or whatever. Oh yeah, so I'm going to sit there and
have Pepsi while she gets loaded and buys pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a freaking soda while you and my dad are sitting there getting wasted. Like, I'm going to be like having so much fun.
Well,
oh my god.
At least the bar's close to home. You could walk home and it would be like 5 minutes away.
But the thing is, it's just like, I don't want any part of that because number one, like I explained on one of our previous podcasts, that she was arrested for arson. She was on probation, did all the probation thing, but if she was to get in trouble in the next certain amount of time, which it's probably 5-6 years at this point because it's been a few years. If she gets in any trouble by then, you know, in that amount of time, she gets thrown right back. It has to do like this long ass sentence.
Screwed.
So I'm like, look, you know, that is not a good situation. I don't want to be any part of it. Because, like, if I'm there, then I'm associated with you, and I don't need that shit. And I don't want these people at the bar to know who the fuck I am and who the hell I'm associated with. Like, there has been random times, very, very random. We've been here 4 years, and I think we've gone in there twice.
Yep.
And it was just to have one drink
and we got you food once, and we left.
And we left. Like, it was one thing. Like, I don't want to be associated with that because I know how they can get, and I'm just like, no.
And personally, I don't want to be associated with a bar crowd.
No, I don't want people to know my name. I don't want people to be like, oh, well, that's so-and-so's daughter. No.
Yeah, no, thanks.
No,
I just don't want an attachment to it.
And we're very, like, it's the neighborhood bar, really. I don't need people in the neighborhood associating me with them either. Like, it sounds so sad.
Everyone in the neighborhood goes to that bar, I'm sure. Because it's literally right around the corner. Like, I can probably hit a golf ball from here to there and smash a window. That's how close it is.
I just, no. And she's like, oh, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna lay down and just, like, you know what? I don't, no. It's just not for me.
And the thing about them is, like, they don't understand why we don't enjoy that lifestyle. Wait, how come you don't like that life?
To them, they
think it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah,
and maybe we are. I don't know.
I don't think we are. Why do you have to be in an overpriced place to pay for overpriced food, way overpriced drinks, just to have the privilege of being around a bunch of drunks?
That's the thing. So you go to a bar, right? Well, I'm not talking about regular everyday people. I'm talking about my parents. They go to the bar and they can drink. Okay?
They're on a fixed income, supposedly.
You figure my dad probably has 6-7 beers at a bar, right? She's got a few mixed drinks. How much is that costing? More than a case of beer.
That's like $15 at that bar. It's like $2.50 a beer. Because that bar is still pretty cheap. That's the price that I used to pay when I was a kid.
But still, you can buy a case of beer and just do that shit at home. So, and that's the
only
way...
5 or 6 beers for almost the price of a 24-pack. Because we don't have 30 packs here like they do in the Northeast.
See, they're very different. They're just like, they go out to drink and get drunk and have a good time. Whereas we would be like, okay, we'll have one drink and then just to be there and then go home.
But
I don't know why. I think we're odd.
Let me throw this little angle out here at you that these people don't understand. Is like, they're not like this all the time. They're only like that when they're drunk. The next day they have regret about everything they did the night before.
Yes.
And they fuck you, and they argue about what they did the night before. So your dad will yell at her for spending money on, but you're a fucking pothead. Yep. And then she'll say, well, you smoked it with me.
Yep.
Well, you're fuck you. And they argue and they don't talk for a day. And then they have a beer. And then they get drunk and they do it all over again.
Yes.
And then they fight. It's the same shit. Same vicious cycle all the time. And I could never live like that. I could never. We may have a few drinks into a podcast, but it's like we talk to each other. And it's about life and weird shit.
But it's not like
we're not.
I'm trying to.
We're not burning money. We're not. Doing crazy shit.
We do it the cheap way, but like they will drink a certain amount and then pick fights with each other. There's a difference. Like my dad is he's
vicious.
My mother left him for a reason, and I remember growing up, she would tell me all the time, well, you know, he used to make fun of you kids, and he used to pick at me all the time, and he would say this, and he would say that.
Yeah.
And as I grew up as a child, I never saw that, right? So, like, I thought he could do no wrong. He was the one that bought me the big-ass Christmas gifts, and he was amazing. He took me in when my mom kicked me out. Everything was amazing. And then I was an adult, and now I see it. Like, he picks and picks and picks.
It took you... Until we got together to see it.
Over that, I think
it took a while.
Close to 30, maybe. No,
Jenna
was born.
I don't remember when it was exactly, but
I know exactly when it was. Jenna was probably. I think I was 33.
Oh, I remember when it was. And let's talk about it. Let's tell the story.
Oh, we can go through that.
Yeah, let's tell the story. Okay, so
that's a hell of a fucking story.
All right, so I think that people may like this one. This one is a brutally honest story that we never told before in public to other people. So we had a nice setup. We were proud of this place that we lived in. We would have barbecues and cookouts, and I just got laid off from my job at Spectrum, or Time Warner Cable at Spectrum now, but. So I was getting free money, and we lived a life that I want to live in the future. Like, just hanging out, getting money every month because, or whatever. Just, it was like a retired life because they laid us off. And I was getting, unemployment.
Unemployment. I was working overnight on a weekend.
Yeah, so we were basically...
And then we were still getting, because you were on unemployment, we were getting
We're getting like top dollar for unemployment. It was like,
Yeah.
it was, we're getting good money. And we were just living the life. And then they were party animals, and I think they were freshly retired. So they were hanging out at our house all the time. Mm-hmm. And they would sleep over for like days on end. They'd bring their dog, and we'd all just hang out and just have a good time. It was fun for a while. We'd get drunk, wake up, cook bacon. There's tons of food in the house, tons of beer, and we'd just wake up and do it all over again. Day drink and pass out late at night and just party, cook out and shit. And this happened for months. And then one day, this new woman moved in next door, and your dad had a huge crush on her. He would try to show off. She was like a motorcycle chick. She was a badass. She was a really cool lady.
She was a Harley Davidson person.
And then one day, something happened. Like a dog ran over to our place. We were playing basketball in the driveway, like shooting horse. We play horse.
And you're getting really detailed into this. I thought you would. Okay.
Well, I'm just trying to paint a picture. Like, we would have a good time. And then the dog ran over from the neighbor's house. And then, like, she came over, and, like, you would almost hear, like, a love song play. And then your dad saw her, and he was in love with her. And then, like, they were talking, and then all of a sudden that neighbor started coming around.
Well, here's the thing. The neighbor had my mother's name.
Yep.
First name.
Yep, same name. Yeah.
And she had a daughter that was 2 days older than me.
Weird coincidence.
It was a lot of weird coincidences. And, like, my dad is the type of person that when he starts drinking, for some reason,
he loves
my
your mom.
mother is the one that he talks about.
Yep.
In front of my stepmother. So, like, he's just like, oh, your mom, blah, blah, blah. And then this woman moved next door, and it was like all the signs. Like, oh my God, they have the same name.
Yep.
Daughter's the same
He
exact
loved
age.
her.
And it was just like fucking so weird and crazy. And so then she started hanging out over there. And I think...
And it was that same day because, like, he invited them over for drinks, and then, like, they were in our house.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there all drinking, and, like, the young couple came over, and we had a lot in common with them. Like, we were talking about, like, games and D&D and all sorts of weird shit and TV shows, and before you knew it, we were all just drinking and eating. And then they came over a couple more times after, and then one day...
But he has to be a show-off.
Yeah, he's a show-off. He's an asshole with that kind of shit. So, one day, we were out there just hanging out, and it was, like, late in the afternoon, and we already cooked out, and then, like, your dad was like, hey, let's cook out some more, and I was the designated cook because I was the only one that didn't fuck food up all the time because your dad would let it burn. And then I just didn't feel like it. I'm like, I don't feel like it. And he goes, and he kept, like, digging that whole day at me.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, what a father this guy is. And I'm like, I'm fucking done. And I went and said, I'm like, they gotta fucking go. And I guess, like, the window was open, and he overheard it, and he stormed in the house.
Yep.
And wanted to fight. Mm-hmm. And I pushed him, and he's like, you want to fucking go? I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out of here or some shit. And then I hit him, and he fell to the ground. And I hit him again.
It was the worst moment of my life.
Well, he kept egging it on, and I think he pushed me. No, he pushed me first. And then I got up and I started hitting him. And then he went down. And then he stormed out.
But see, from my point of view, he could do no wrong up until that point. I never heard him nitpicking everybody, right? Like, it never dawned on me. I never looked at him in that way.
Yeah.
But then something happened, and then he came in and attacked you, and, like, I was upset. I'm like, well, what the fuck is happening? Like, why is my dad acting like this, like a crazy person?
He was a maniac out of nowhere. He just turned.
And so then, like, and then it was like a fist fight in the kitchen, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I was upset, and I'm like, get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah.
So they left. And that was right around the time that she went to jail.
Yep.
I think she went to jail the next weekend. Mm-hmm. I think this was like their last hurrah, and I think it was a lot of him showing off plus stress because she was going to be going into jail. Like, she knew she was going to jail. She had to turn herself in. I think it was a lot of things, but it was woke me up.
It was craziness, and I'll never forget it.
I'll never forget it.
He was showing off for this woman, and the kids were inside the house, like, hanging out, like, about to go to bed or something, because they were, like, young back then. And for some reason, me not cooking more food after we cooked tons of food that day was me being a bad father. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
He would say little things like that, like it was no big deal. Yeah. And I'm getting upset. We should not have brought this up because I'm starting to get pissed off all over again. I'm ready to hit somebody.
It's like years ago. It happened in the past. I'm not upset anymore, but At
See,
the time,
I'm
I was
getting upset.
pissed. At the time, I was pissed because he made that comment like, "Oh, you're a bad father," but he didn't say it to me. He said it loud up to that woman,
Right.
who was our friend, and she was pissed. She didn't like him. At that point, she was sick of him.
Right.
And
God, it
I
was
went in
so
the house
horrible.
and I'm like, they gotta go. And I said it to you, and he stormed in, and whatever happened.
But we didn't talk for a long time,
Yeah.
quite a bit after that.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Yeah.
it took a lot for him to come back and apologize, and like, it took a lot. But like, ever since that moment,
Yeah.
I see him in a different light now. It was that one moment where like, and now I see him like picking at people, and I'm just like,
But-
wow,
I mean-
like how did I not see that before? I never.
I mean, like, it's your dad. Like, you see them in a different light than other people do. But after that happened, like, they left. And then we went outside and we cooked out. We had a great rest of the night. We were hanging out.
because
We
our
were hanging
neighbors
out
still
with
came
with
over,
the neighbors
yeah.
that came over. She brought over some beautiful pork
Kicked them
chops.
the fuck out. I'm like, I'm
Amazing
not
pork
around my
chops.
kids. You're not like
Yeah.
that's not happening.
She was happy that they were gone. We were happy they were gone. We had a beautiful rest of the night. We drank. We had a good time, and it was a fun night. And I remember the next morning we woke up to a Facebook message from your mother-in-law, and she apologized because she knew he was an asshole.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
my stepmother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that was
And
basically
then
it.
she disappeared and went to jail.
Yeah, and she went
And
to
I
jail.
was
and,
at
yeah, that was the end
pen
of that.
pals with someone in jail, which is
Yeah.
so stupid. My family's so fucked up, man. Why am I?
Your
I feel
family-
like I'm the only one opening up about some crazy ass shit that happens in my family.
No, I talked about some weird things today.
Nothing
I talked
bad
about-
ever happens to your family.
I talked about my youngest sister.
Yeah,
Is a
can we please
slut.
hear a story from yours? Because I feel
I
like
talked about this one, but not on air.
God.
So I remember I was hanging out at my place, and this is the crackhead house I used to live in. I was proud of this place, okay? I was never a crackhead, but
your first apartment. You're
my
really
first apartment.
proud of.
I lived around a bunch of crackheads. It was like a little one room place, and there was like 8 apartments. I don't know what the hell it was, like a motel turned into like a apartment complex for people that are supposed to be getting out of jail. But my father was a manager there, and he got me a place, thinking, "Hey, this is your place. This is your first place. Learn some responsibility. You can pay your bills or whatever." I was like, "All right, cool." And I didn't know I was going to be around a lot of crackheads. My dad was naive. He was a Christian man. He thought everyone could turn their lives around. Little did he know the guy across the hall was giving me drugs and shit, like cocaine and whatever. I told that story before, didn't I? About like he would turn the lights off. Should I tell that one real quick?
I think you told it.
All right, well, real quick.
Tell it.
So I would get beer. I was like 21 years old. I just turned 21. I was able to go to the bars. I was going to bars. I was working at ShopRite. I made a little bit of money. But the thing is like it was like $450 a month to live in this place. So the money I made, I was going to bars. I had girls over. It was a good time. The guy across the hall from me was into drugs, and he used to knock him out. His name was Walter. I think he's dead now. But he would knock on the door, and
Gotta throw that in there.
Yeah, like we'd hang out. And he mentioned to me that he can get stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm young, and I feel like I can do anything. So what he would do is get cocaine and be like, hey, man, I can get you some. And this only happened like 2 or 3 times. It didn't happen a lot because I didn't really like the shit. I was just young and experiment. Everybody fucked around when they were young.
Really?
Yeah.
I never did.
Well, I guess you didn't have a crackhead house to live in, right?
Shit,
So anyway,
man.
the fucking guy, he's like, all right, well, I'm going to knock on your door at 11 o'clock at night. Make sure the lights are off. Make sure your door's unlocked. And put the money under my door and just sit there and wait. I'm like, all right. So I slid like $50 under his door. And I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, man, I fucking just gave away $50. I'm not getting shit. All of a sudden, my door swings open. Something gets thrown on my fucking desk, and the door slams shut. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm sitting there for like 5 minutes, like, what the hell just happened? I turn the lights on, lock my door, and there's a little baggie there, and I do it. I'm like, oh, cool, I got a party going on. And it was real shit. He didn't fuck me, but, like, that was just a place that I lived in. Where the fuck was I going with this? Where the fuck was I going with this story?
You
I'm
were
sitting there
talking
getting
about your
details.
slut of a sister.
Oh, okay, so I'm living in this place, right? I'm having a good night. I'm sitting there partying. And then all of a sudden I get a call from my brother, and he's like, yeah, your sister, she's in your neck of the woods somewhere. And there was a bar that all the girls went to, all the guys went to. It was a big bar in my area. It was like right around the corner from my house, right? And he's like, yeah, I can't find her. That's the last place he said she was going. I don't know where she is. Can you please look for her? I'm like, what the fuck? So I got my ex-girlfriend's car. I'm driving around, fucking wobbling over the road. I have no idea where the fuck I'm going. I'm fucked up. And I'm sitting there driving, and I see this bitch just stumbling around. She falls over, and I'm like, I guarantee that's her. I fucking pull into the spot. I'm all fucking parked weird, and I yell her name. I'm like, get in the car. And I had no idea it was even her. And then all of a sudden, starts puking on the ground. I'm like, what the fuck? So I get out the car. I go over, and it's my sister. I'm like, you fucking dumb bitch. I'm cursing. I'm calling her every name in the book. You fucking slut, bitch. What the fuck? What happened to you? Mom and Dad taught you better. And we're getting all emotional because we're both fucked up. So I'm sitting there crying and shit. I'm like, you're fucking bitch. Going off on her, calling her a slut.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, where the fuck are you staying now? And then I fucking drove her home. And this was like fucking like a 20-minute drive. I drove her home. Drove all the way the fuck back. And I felt so proud of myself for taking care of my older sister. And I should not have been on the road. I don't know how I didn't murder somebody, murder myself, because there was this big iron bridge and this big river that led from like one town to the next. And I lived right after the bridge. And I drove over the bridge, and I think I might have hit something, or I don't know. But anyway, that was my fucked up family story. That's one of many.
That's it? You picked up your drunk ass sister.
Well, I was fucked up and high off of some shit.
Dude,
You don't think
I
that's-
have
you don't
someone that
think
has
that's bad?
gone to jail. I'm talking about all this freaking weird ass shit. You get into a fist fight with my goddamn father,
Yeah, well-
and you're talking about a slut sister
it
that you
counts.
didn't even describe why she's a slut. It's just
Oh,
some
all right.
random
Well,
ass
you wanna know
thing.
why she's a slut?
Like,
Because, like, for
why
some
is my
reason-
family so
all right.
fucked up?
So the women in my family, for some reason, they feel like they have to latch onto a guy, and when they do, they hate the rest of the family. So, like, you're a piece of shit until they need to be rescued. So I guess I should have told more about that part.
Yeah, because you're calling her a slut, but no one knows
Well,
why.
she is a slut. So she has 2 kids. No, she's got 3 kids now. I only met 2 of them. She has 2 kids with 2 different guys, 3 kids with 3 different guys. One of them I didn't meet. So the way my sisters are is like they latch onto someone. I don't know why they do what they do, but they latch onto someone. They have unprotected sex, have a kid immediately, and they're in love. And then they move in with somebody, and then that guy treats them like shit, and then they leave. My youngest sister was self-destructive. She had a really horrible first boyfriend, and then she had a second boyfriend who she had a really good thing with. The guy moved her in. He was a hard worker, good guy. I liked him. My brother liked him. Everyone approved of this guy. My sister was a drunk. The youngest one. The one I picked up. Fucked up. Really fucked up person. She was drunk as shit. She would always like do horrible things. The guy, his grandmother died, and he had her ashes in an urn in the house.
Oh
my
my
sister
God, what'd she
got
fucking do
drunk.
with it?
She grabbed the urn and threw it and said, "Fuck that cunt, bitch," screaming horrible things. And he just said, and he was, if I was him, I would have beat her ass. And I told him, we don't blame you, we blame her, because that's a horrible thing to do to somebody. And to have someone else's back over your own family member shows how fucked up your family member is. So we told him, hey man, we're sorry about her, she's a bitch. He said, I can't deal with her. And this was one of many altercations that she caused. And we had his back. We were like, you know what? She's a bitch. We like you. We think you're a good guy. That's how bad she was. And he never, he left. And to this day, I don't know if he ever talked to her again. But he abandoned his own kid. But
What about
he
the
still,
one
he
that-
still talks to her because I think a few years back, I don't know if like I talked to my brother and he said like him and the kid talk, but he doesn't talk to my sister. But yeah,
What
like they
about the
broke up.
one that put all the kids up for adoption?
That was my niece. So
Oh!
Yeah.
I thought that was a...
I
I
have
thought that was a
niece.
sister.
I have a niece. I'm 37. She's got to be like 28, 29 now. But a few years back, we made contact somehow, and I found out about her. And she had 2 kids
Multiple kids up for adoption, right?
up for adoption because like she couldn't handle. I don't know what the story was, but like she was my first niece. She was like my sister because
Yeah.
we were so close in age. I was like 9 because like I said before in the podcast, my oldest sister is like 15 years older than me because I was the mistake of the family. My mom met someone else and that happened and here I am, the nerd. But my oldest sister had a kid and that's like my sister. At that point, I was like 9 and she was like 1, and we were watching movies, like Disney movies together. Like we kind of grew up together almost, and until I became too old, I was like, yeah, it's my fucking niece, But when I found out she had kids, I was like, wow, she's young. Like she was 21 and I'm like 30. I'm like, what the fuck? She has 2 kids, And she gave them both up or they got taken from her because she was too young something weird happened that I still don't know the story of, but it's like to give up kids or have them taken from you. Something
I thought they were taken.
Weird. I think they were taken. Something
were
weird
taken.
must have happened, and she has to do something to get visitation.
I
Right?
thought-
She can see them once in a while, or
See, if I'm not mistaken, because
something weird.
like
happened.
we have mentioned many times before, neither one of us talk to our family, right? There's only certain family members that I still talk to.
Yeah.
There was a family member that you were talking to very
I stopped
recently
talking to.
that you stopped talking to.
A couple of years ago now.
Because about a year or so ago.
Really?
But
two.
would start some shit and say
Yeah.
things purposely to get you going.
Yeah.
But like, so we pretty much
Mm-hmm.
cut everybody off. But if I'm not mistaken, her kids were taken away from her, and she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah. Like she
Like
just
she
couldn't
was
stop.
due for another one, and I remember you like arguing with her mom, or you were arguing with someone like,
Somebody,
what?
yeah.
Why does this keep happening? I do remember that. Like,
Why aren't
we
you guys
have-
keeping an eye on these people?
we
Like,
have-
why aren't you helping our family members?
I don't know
This is
how
dumb.
we ended up to normal. Maybe I'm thinking we are the fucked up people.
No, we're not, because we have straight heads on us. Like, they're like, why are you this fucking people and just giving up kids and making more kids to get taken away again? Like, what's
I
wrong
don't
with you?
understand how
What?
we both have fucked up families.
See, we do.
But see, I'm glad
But-
you finally shared a little bit, because I
Oh.
feel like I'm constantly sharing my crap, and it sounds horrible.
I was talking to my brother, and we would stop talking for a while. And it was football season would come around, and we started talking about the Giants, and we'd talk during the games, and we wouldn't talk for a week, and once the season was over, we just wouldn't talk until the next season. And this went on for about 2 years, maybe 3 years, and then he just kept egging shit on. Like, he
but
just kept,
he would purposely say stuff.
he would say things to get me upset, like, oh, the family messaged you, and he would always happen to run into people.
And oh, see, now I'm starting to hear things that I didn't
I told
know
you that before. No, yes, you did know this. Yeah, you knew this. I
I
would tell
knew
you.
that he was egging you on and would say things
Yeah.
and put the guilt trip on you
Yeah,
as to
about the
why
family.
you haven't seen
Yeah,
them.
of course. But then my sister would run into people because she was friends with people that would ask about me all the time, and then he would try to bring up these freaking feelings and shit that just didn't matter. It was like, dude, this happened years ago. Why are you bringing this shit up? And I don't know. I was just annoyed by it.
But see, that's how family is. For some reason,
They just won't let go of the past. Like, you
Because-
were happier with me doing certain things because I was still in the area. And that's what he was
that's the
trying to
thing.
bring across. Like,
Right.
oh, you were better off with her because you were here
right?
and she took care of you. And blah, like, yeah, but I wasn't happy. I really wasn't happy.
It's just
And they would try, well, guess who, Nerd's sister ran into today? She was asking
Right.
about you. So,
but, like,
I have kids now.
they
I
had
don't
to
care
go.
anymore.
It's weird because they had to go out of the way to tell you
All the time.
And
All
when
the time.
we first had Samantha,
Is it okay if I give her your number? No, don't do it. And like, no, they never did. But but it's like they would fish. Were they really talking to her? I don't know.
oh,
I
they were
don't-
talking to her.
I don't know if
They were talking to her.
fishing for this shit because she moved on. Why are you trying to do
But-
this?
I remember when I was pregnant for Samantha.
Now I'm getting pissed.
See, I
I'm
was
getting
pissed, and now you're pissed.
We're about to fist fight live on the podcast, man. You're about to hear us clapping something, not cheeks.
Dude, but it has nothing to do with us. It's our fucking stupid,
I know.
fucked up families trying to start some shit. But no, I remember when I was pregnant for Samantha, and we had her, and your family sent up this wonderful big box of fucking
They did.
newborn
Yeah, they
clothes,
did.
and it was perfect. I loved every minute of it, but they had to make sure
Yep.
that they said
Yeah.
so and so also said an outfit,
yeah.
and here you go.
And it was like the cutest outfit. It was the
And
cutest
I'm like, no, well,
Was it?
It was a little. I'm not going to
don't-
say the word.
I don't
on
remember
here.
what it was. What was it?
I do remember it, but like
What was it? I don't remember. I really
it,
don't
was-
remember.
it just whatever. But like,
You got to tell me off air because I don't remember.
but it was. And I'm just like, why the fuck is this bitch sending our kid clothes? Like it made absolutely no sense.
But the thing is, like, I don't know if she did. I don't think she would because I haven't talked to her in fucking over a decade, but I don't remember. Like I think I don't like that wouldn't be her
well,
style.
I would hope it'd be over 15 years ago, not over a decade.
I mean, I don't remember how long we've
But-
been together. God damn it, shit.
I mean, like, I think family can be weird like that and say certain things or try to instigate certain things. Like, I know damn well that my dad could easily just, like, he's very, very funny, like, with my sisters and stuff, like, just say certain things.
He knows what buttons to press with you guys.
Like, he knows what to do. And, like, just to get a reaction, like, why are you causing problems in someone's relationship? Like, it has nothing to do with you. And I don't understand why certain family members can be that way. It drives me, like, insane.
Do you know what the problem is with my family and me? And I know exactly what it is.
That you don't talk to them.
The fact is like, I'm not technically one of them because I have a different father. Different mindset.
You're the only one with the different father.
mindset.
Right.
So I'm the only one in my father's side of the family. We talked about this in the show. We can disappear for years. Like, I have this thing about me where I can not talk to someone for the rest of my life, no matter how close I was to them, and be completely fine with it.
Yeah.
And the only person in my family that kind of did that was my oldest sister. But she only moved one town over. So they always had tabs on her. They always knew what she was up to.
Right. But you moved out of state.
I moved
and they did not
out of state.
Like that.
I moved way far away. They tried desperately. All these tactics to get me back. Oh, so-and-so misses you. So-and-so wants this. So, hey, we still got your place here. Blah, blah, blah. These people are still looking for you.
Didn't they move into your place?
My sister did. And she kept it for a little while. And I don't know if she got into drugs or something. I don't know what the fuck happened.
But I do remember that you moved up with me, and she
weird.
moved into your place to keep it for you.
They had all my guitars, and they kept trying to use those to get me back. Hey, we got your guitars, the ones you used to love so much, and all this other shit I had. And I remember, we're going to sell them. We're going to sell them. Come back. Come get them. And when I went there, because I went back for my dad's funeral,
right?
And they assumed I was staying.
That was a year after we got together.
They assumed I was staying, and when I left again, they were so upset, and it got worse. And it was just absolutely insane. So I guess for them, it's hard because I left and never talked again to anybody. And I think that's the hardest part.
And I understand that. And I completely understand that.
I can easily do that.
See, I can see their point of view, but they used tactics that was just so stupid.
Yeah.
It was so stupid, but at the same time, we really weren't too far away. And we, at that time, when we first got together, we were struggling. Like, struggling hard. We were on the system and all that. Obviously, we're not now. But, like, we were struggling hard. They could have easily... And they drove. Neither one of us had a license at the time. They could have easily come up and visited. And it was just constant, like, guilt trip crap. But then it became years and years and years and then we started slowly getting better, moving into better places and off the system and better jobs and blah, blah, blah. And, like, whatever. Yeah. So... I don't know, like, it just some families just suck, and I think we both got shit families, and I think that we found each other for a reason.
It's pretty bad, and now we're making a good one together. We're making a good family.
It's just, these kids will never deal with any of that shit.
But it's the truth, man. Like, sometimes you just, and I don't think family needs to stay together, because some families need to split apart.
Well, this is the thing, like, I think I've mentioned this before, that I am really, really close with one sister, who's a half-sister. Super, super close with her. I can text her once or twice a month, and we are good.
That's fine.
We are good. In the very beginning, because she's sensitive like me, but she's not as bad as me, like where I can cut people off and I'm okay.
Yeah.
She's not like that, but she's very sensitive. So, like, in the very beginning, when I started, like, pulling myself away, she'd be like, "Are you mad at me? I feel like you're mad at me." And I'm like, "No."
Because you guys grew up in that environment.
Yeah, it's how we were raised. And I'm like, "No, it has no, like, I'm not upset. I'm just, like, I'm not a texter. I'm not a person that talks on the phone. It's just, like, checking in once in a while. Like, I'm good." And no time has passed. Everything is good. You know, I'm doesn't mean I'm upset with you because I haven't talked to you in 48 hours. I hate that.
But your family, too, like, breeds that kind of resentment towards each other, where, like, you guys have to be on guard at all times.
That's because my mother. We were raised a certain fucking way, and, like...
Mine was more or less, like... The thing that I noticed, because I was much younger, but I did have eyes on everything, and I heard everything, because I was always behind a wall listening, you know, and I was always, like, checking out shit. was my mom was the shit stirrer of the family, just like your mom was, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to like be around her, and she would play mind games and fuck with people for fun. My mom was a real cunt at this time, and I'm going to say it. She was a cunt. And what she would do when she was younger was like, she was a hard worker. She took care of everybody, you know. But she would like go to like my oldest sister and say, "Hey, the youngest sister did this," and she would egg it on, and then they would fight, and then she would pick sides.
Yeah.
And she always had a affinity for my middle sister. For some reason, the middle sister was her favorite because that was the one that latched on to her. They stayed together forever, and she always took care of her. They took care of each other.
How does that happen? Because that's the same thing that happened with
I don't know.
me, my two sisters.
I don't know, but
it
that
was the middle
one.
sister.
That was the one that she chose. The oldest sister moved away. The youngest sister was the fuck up, the party animal, the slut. Mm-hmm. And then the middle sister was always like that rock. Like, she's the one that took care of me when my mom was working. But for some reason, she always chose her over everybody else. And then my youngest sister was I don't know, like, they're all fucked up. They're all fucked up. And I may have the mental illness, but I don't fuck up like them. You know, like, they were horrible people. Oh, man. You got me to open up on this one.
Well, it's about time. I feel like I'm constantly saying how horrible my family is, which they are.
It's easy for me to not.
But it's not just me that has a horrible family. Like, I'm sick of talking about my family, and I feel like I'm repeating myself all the damn time.
Do you want to talk about something really fucked up?
What?
Something that I do want to talk about real quick before we end this podcast. I don't know why, but it's been like. It feels like 30 years because I think I remember people doing this when I was a kid. Talking on Bluetooths. Something really
we went from
weird.
Serious to like.
Well, there's something really weird about talking in a Bluetooth in public that makes you like whisper, even though this is like very well known.
It looks like you're talking to yourself or you're crazy.
They get smaller. So like I have a pair of AirPods, right? And I only use one. And I double tap it to answer the phone or stop or pause or play music or whatever because I set it that way in the settings, right? So every time I go to the supermarket and I'm like, all right, hey, I'm switching from the car to the Bluetooth, the AirPod, right? And I put you on the AirPod and I'm walking through the supermarket. I feel like if there's someone in the aisle and I'm talking to you, I have to stop talking.
I know.
Because if I start talking, they're going to look at me thinking I'm talking to them. And I don't want people to think I'm talking to them because they're not going to respond. We're going to have that human contact and I'm stuck.
I always know when you're like at the register or whatever because you stop responding. Which I understand because I would do the same exact thing. Yeah.
It's just weird to me. And this technology's been around for a long time that you think that people would like have the lines blurred between, hey, that person's crazy or hey, they just have a Bluetooth in their head because they're talking to themselves, you know? Like people talking to themselves aren't crazy anymore. They either have a Bluetooth or a watch or something on them, you know? Can
you imagine talking on the Apple Watch? I haven't done it yet. Well, we did it for like 30 seconds the one day just to test it out.
Like that's including so many of your conversations. I don't like that.
I can't imagine like walking to the bus stop and talking and not having. I would feel like. Do you have to have your wrist up to your mouth?
You don't have to have it like right in your face, but like maybe like here would be.
See, fine. I don't, and I don't. That's not. I'm not comfortable with that.
The thing I don't like about it, because like I don't care if people hear what I'm saying. I don't want them hearing what the other person's saying because to me that's just like way too much. Like you're not a part of the conversation. You don't need to hear what I'm saying to them and what they're saying to me. Like you don't need to hear both sides of the conversation because like you're not a part of it. So if I'm having the AirPods in my ear, that's okay because like I'm talking, you can hear me, they can hear what you're saying. But I also don't like the fact that when I'm talking, like they think I'm talking to them. So I guess I hate Bluetooth. I guess I really hate the damn thing. I like it because it's hands-free, but the fact that even after however many years it's just been around, people still don't see it as, like, they still turn their heads, oh, well, someone's talking to me. Like, no, like, if you hear me asking, like, oh, well, how was her day at school? Don't look at me. Don't raise your head. It's not for you, you know? It's for someone else.
It's starting to become more and more common, though, because I remember back in the day, it used to be a big-ass Bluetooth thing.
Yeah.
And you could definitely see it,
well,
right?
they're
and it
talking
would
on
light
Bluetooth,
up.
but now they're small.
Yeah. But, like, they're getting smaller and smaller, and more people are getting it. Like, pretty soon they're going to be, like, it's going to be, like, some type of hearing aid type thing, where it just goes in, and you're not even going to be able to see the damn thing in your ear. And people are just going to walk around and talk to themselves.
We're almost there now.
But
those Raycons are pretty small.
I mean, I don't even think twice anymore. If I see someone talking, like, I automatically assume that they're on a Bluetooth.
Maybe because we're tech savvy. Because like, if I hear someone say something, and like it may catch me off guard for a second, but I immediately go back to what I was doing. Oh, they're on the Bluetooth. But some people will look at you like,
Yeah.
and they'll stare at you and shit as like you're walking by them because like they have to see what you're doing, or maybe they want to be a part of it. I don't know.
I also see like the whole thing. Like you get very quiet. Like I said, when you go to like a checkout lane.
Well, I just don't like attention.
And that I can see as being like weird, like the cashier thinking that you're talking to them.
Yeah.
When you're really
That
talking
happened.
to whoever's in your ear. So, I mean, I guess I don't know. It's a weird thing, I guess, and people just gotta start getting with the program.
It's awkward for me because I don't like public speaking, like as far as like talking to people.
Which is why most of the time I'm on the Bluetooth with you,
Yeah.
because you will talk to me and hopefully they won't talk to
Well,
you.
there is a pro tip I'm going to give to some people that may not have heard this in a previous podcast, where if you are not on the phone with somebody and you don't want to talk to the cashier or anybody else, take your phone out of your pocket, hold it to your ear, and pretend like you're talking to somebody. No one will look at you or talk to you. For some reason, that is like an invisible protection spell, if you will.
Stop using protection spell.
Where you have a
You gotta
phone
knock
in
every
your
fucking
ear.
show that I fucking
no,
watch.
that show has that fucking blonde babe in it. What the hell was that show?
It was the originals, and it ended.
That girl was sexy. Whoever she was,
Rebecca.
I don't know who the hell she is, but she was sexy. I remember when I was like, I walked out, I was making fun of the show, and I'm like, who is that? And yeah, but anyway, if you have a phone in your hand next to you, no one will look at you or talk to you. For some reason, like that phone will block everyone off.
When your phone is on and you're talking to someone, isn't it lit a little bit?
Not always.
Because I think that
you
when
can
I'm
change-
watching a soap, that
you can
like,
change your settings where it does dim after and save your battery.
because like people having a completely black screen up next to their ear,
Yeah.
I'm like, that phone's off, dude.
Do you
You're
miss-
not talking to anyone.
Do you miss flip phones at all?
I don't miss the flip phones. I miss the slide phones
Okay.
with the little keyboard. We had one because
Yeah.
that was back in the day.
That was right
prepay.
before I got this job.
Yeah, like yeah. What the hell did we? What the fuck was that?
It was
Smart Talk. It was Straight Talk.
Straight Talk. But before that, it was Sprint.
Virgin Mobile.
And we didn't have a phone for months. And I remember just before I got the job I got now,
Yeah.
I got a free month just before I went away, and I didn't have a phone. And we had it in like a shoebox. I was like, well, let me see if it works. Oh, it works. We could use this. Remember? It was Virgin Mobile. And they gave us like a free month. Come back. We'll reactivate you. Give me a free month. It was that. I remember it like it was yesterday. The fucking time's flying, you know?
Yeah.
But we had those phones. I remember like we thought we were hot shit. I remember like we went and bought matching phones.
Because, well, no, I got a free one
Something weird
from
happened,
being
yeah.
on the system.
Oh, that's
Remember
right.
back then?
It was the
'Cause
Obama
you were-
phone. It was
Yes.
the Obama phone, man. We were fucked back then. Holy shit.
You had lost your job.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We had to go back on the system.
Yep. Got surplus.
We got an Obama freaking phone with free minutes or whatever. It wasn't a lot, but we
And
got minutes.
It was
and
like
stuff on it.
250 minutes, and just before I got the job,
Yes.
I got free minutes on my phone. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, like things were just falling into place. And I know people are saying, and you don't believe in God, nerd. I don't believe in God. I believe in promotions. And I think the company was giving us some because they wanted us to pay money again or whatever. But
Oh, of course. Just like you get free shit in the game.
yeah,
Just enough.
exactly to make you want more.
Yeah, to make you want more,
like this
you
is
gotta
a
pay.
company trying to make money.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in that divine intervention shit, but things make sense, you know, and like that's what happened. But I remember we had those little bullshit phones, and then we got smartphones and everything else. You know, changed the world changed, I guess. But
I do miss the slide phones with the
I do.
keyboard, though.
I do, but I do miss the flip phone because I think it looks cooler when you're going snap, and then you're
Oh, it
talking
looks
and then snap
cooler,
it down. And, yeah,
but
I think it's cool.
The thing I hated with those was you had to press the button like 5 times.
I
to-
like
to
T9
get
texting.
No.
Because you could drive with one hand and not even look
And
at the phone
boom.
and boom, 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 boom. And you could have a perfect text. Nowadays, I can stare at the screen, stare at my fingers, and I can still
Hit the
mistypo
wrong
shit because the screen is so sensitive. You make mistakes when you're not trying to.
So there are
do.
certain people, certain fans of the show that I text.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if I ever misspell a word, look, I
You just don't
do
give a
not.
fuck.
I do not go and spell check my crap. I really don't. So if it, I stopped doing that about 2 years ago. I will have two words with like the letter B in the middle. Is it the B or is it the N? It's one of those two letters. But it's like this long ass word with like a stupid random letter in the middle.
M and N for me are horrible because the space bar it screws everything up.
So no, I don't screw that. Like randomly, I think I said to you today.
Can we talk?
I'm not going to say what I texted you, but I misspelled something. Mm-hmm. I put I'll instead of I, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm not.
Fuck it. But can we talk about one other thing real quick before we keep saying one more thing before we end the show?
I know,
we keep thinking of shit.
It's over 2 hours.
So yeah, our friend of the show has a really cool horror movie room.
Yes.
And
I forgot about,
God.
Yes. Yep.
I saw the pictures. You sent me the pictures. Mm-hmm. And I felt it's every horror movie: Leatherface, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Annabelle. I'm sitting here like, oh my God! And
Chucky's girlfriend too.
Yep.
What was her name?
I don't remember. It was
amazing.
It was a chick with a really cute voice. Whatever the hell her name was. She had
the
big
leather
tits,
coat and stuff. Yes.
And she did the voice and it was like really cute. Whatever the fuck her name is. But it was really Bride of Chucky, and there were like all these cool. Everything was clean. Dusted regularly, I'm sure. Nice and just neat looking, posed perfectly. And there was like a spotlight, there was like a glass case and all sorts of shit in there.
A glass case? How jealous were you of the glass case?
I was jealous of the shit that was in the case. I don't care if it's in the case or not. Like I could put things on the floor and be like, oh cool, I got the shit, but like they had it nicely put. It looked like a museum. They could charge admission.
Yeah, I know.
To just look at the toys, don't touch them, just look at them. And everything was so nice, and I was jealous. All they have is a Freddy Krueger T-shirt and like a plastic action figure. They've got like a fucking real cool looking doll.
I did explain that we used to have cardboard cutouts of like cool Freddy and stuff.
Shit, yeah.
But certain things couldn't fit in the Ford Focus that we had to move down here, so we had to get rid of some stuff. But seeing that, I knew immediately how you were going to be. Mm-hmm. And I knew immediately I can see you at work with me sending the pictures to you, like things going off in your head, like what you can do in one of the rooms in this house. Like ideas that would be popping in your head. And I'm like, oh my God, the nerd is going to be freaking loving this shit.
So I saw that room and I'm like, motherfucker, man, what the hell are we doing wrong? So we got to get these kids out. And my ideal room is basically...
We gotta kick the kids out.
We gotta kick the kids out first. My ideal room would be like a 40 to 60 inch TV. Nothing smaller than the 40, nothing bigger than the 60.
Wow.
I want a video game system. I want posters of... I don't know what I really want posters of. Like maybe like horror movie people, Becky Lynch and Rachel Ray. Not in that order. Doesn't have to be in order. It could be them all over the wall, right?
I will never enter your room.
So I want them on the wall, and I also want a nice recliner with a nice heavy blanket so I can fall asleep after I drank too much or, ate too many edibles or something. I want a nice fan that blows on me because I like fans and I love the sound of fans so I can fall asleep in my chair after playing too many video games or watching shit. And I want DVDs of all my favorite movies, right? Like at least 100 of them. A nice rack.
That's where I kind of agree with you. Mm-hmm. I miss the whole DVD thing because I feel like going on Netflix or whatever streaming service you have, it's very overwhelming. There's so much. Mm-hmm. Like, I know what I like, and having a DVD collection, like, I miss that. We haven't had one in years, and going through Netflix...
It's overwhelming.
It is.
It's too easy.
And it's just like, okay, well, this is 98% like made for me. But like, I'm just like, I've never even heard of this shit. Like, I miss my shit.
Yeah.
So I understand like a whole.
What about the
DVD
experience
collection.
of going to Walmart
and
going through that
one?
bin, that $5 bin, and just like digging it? You would get 2 shopping carts, yours and one to dump the shitty movies in, only to dump them back after you found a movie that you liked.
It was
great.
I don't know if it was Walmart. You're going to have to correct me. I don't know if it was Walmart or if it was you worked at the video store. But I remember you brought home cheap-ass DVDs and they were horror films. Donnie Wahlberg
Hollywood Video.
Okay.
Yep.
He was in one, right? Like Dead Silence, I think it was.
Yep.
And it was so good. Like, it
Yeah.
was like these cheaply made
every year
horror
they would
films.
have these horror movies, and I wish I could reach out to Lauren right now, but it's like 7:00 where she is, because she would know what this was, and she's a horror movie chick that I
think
interviewed
it was
a while back.
Dead Silence that he did, but there was
It was Dead
multiples.
Silence, but there was a set, and there was a guy from Prison Break was in one of them too.
Yes,
The girl from
Lincoln.
and the girl from Buffy who played Glory was in one of them too. The same one with him. And what they did was they took a collection of horror films that they had, like this overnight thing. Every Halloween they'd come out with a set. It was like 5 movies, and they'd be bundled together, and they were great. But they
were
got
so
worse as the
good.
years went on. They got worse, but they were great for a couple of years.
I miss DVDs. God damn it! Like
I
the
just-
streaming thing, I
yeah.
like it, but it is very overwhelming for me. Like I don't.
Way too overwhelming.
I'm someone that loves to watch TV and movies, and like I don't know. Like I'm sitting here, like I'm staring at Netflix, and I'm like I don't even know what to fucking. I don't know what to click on, and it's driving me nuts.
Well,
So-
there's just too much.
There's too much because everyone's pulling you in one way. That I listen to, I don't know how many podcasts where this one likes this one, and this one's liking that one, and I want to try them, but
We
the one
have-
isn't on demand, and I don't have Hulu
Yeah.
for this one.
But we have such a short attention span where
God.
everything needs to be put in one place and given to us in increments that we can't control. If you can control when you watch stuff and you have everything at the control of your fingertips, we're going to have a weird mental breakdown. Because if I have my choice between the Super Bowl, WrestleMania, Playboy Channel, or some other shit, I'm going to be like, wait, I can't choose one. I got to, like, you're going back and forth, and eventually your head's going to explode because there's too much at one time. We can't consume as much television as being given to us because we have control of when we watch
It's
it.
too much, and it's all different,
Yeah.
and like this is exclusive to this system,
Yeah.
and this is exclusive to that.
We're spending tons of
And-
money on shit we don't need.
There's this woman that is on one of my podcasts where I guess there's like 14-day trials going on for some of these streaming devices, and she's got all these different things because they got rid of cable and they're trying to figure out which one they want.
There's too
And
many,
she says
though.
that she's so overwhelmed that she doesn't know what to do
Yeah.
because she there's too much to watch.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to try to test every single one, and she can't come up with what the hell she likes more. And I can't. Like, it's too much.
It's like, so
way too
you're a
much.
Star Wars fan, so you have to pay for this.
Yeah,
You're
it's so much.
You're a Game of Thrones fan, so you got to buy this. So it's like you got $20, $12, and $15, and all this shit adds up to way more than you pay for cable. I think that our biggest problem, and not just me and you, but everyone in general, is that we need a schedule. Remember when you were a kid, at 8 o'clock you'd watch this, 8:30 you watch this, you flip to this channel at 9 o'clock, and like you had your whole night set, you know?
I will never forget. There were certain days, I don't remember the days, but I remember my mom saying, "Get the fuck out. Like, this is my time." Like, Dallas would come on. Or, Knots Landing. Or whatever. Like, because there was no pause. You couldn't record it.
Yep.
If you missed it, God forbid you didn't get home on time.
You had to listen to your
that
friends
was
talk about it
it.
the next day, and you're done.
You just missed it. So when it hit 8 o'clock,
Yep.
you get the hell out of the room because my mom's got certain shows she's got to watch from 8 and 9 o'clock or whatever. Now you can just tape it and just I don't know.
I remember when I was a kid and I watched General Hospital, and I would have to run home from school
To be able to see it.
to get home at 3 o'clock to watch it on Channel 7 ABC, and I watch it. But then we got a VCR, and I learned how to put a tape over a regular
Yeah.
tape, and I would watch it when I got home. And I used to learn how to like record things and set it to record. And I would come home and it was fine, you know. And I used to
See,
watch
now-
it like midnight.
I didn't have a VCR until I moved out on my own.
I was in high school when I had one.
Is that when they came out? Because I remember I lived in my own apartment.
they were out for a long time. They were out since the 80s, VCRs. But
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Because I did not own, and they were. I remember them being cheap, but I remember being so proud of myself for going and buying one because I had my own apartment. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be able to tape stuff because, man,
Do you remember-
millennials have no idea what we
do you
went
remember
through.
portable DVD players and how expensive
Yes.
they were?
Yep.
Do you remember a portable TV with a screen smaller than the iPhone 4 screen? It was a portable TV with an
iPhone.
antenna, and you would have the little knob to turn the like
Yes.
local channels and shit.
Yes.
I wanted one so bad. I was like, I need a TV.
I never had one.
That I can bring it. And I had a black and white one.
There must have been a commercial or a TV show or something, because I know what you're talking about, but I never had one, and I never knew anyone
I had
with
one, and it was black and white. I don't know how the hell I got it, but it was a black and white portable TV. And I was turning the dial, and I remember like having the antenna and swinging it either way and watching wrestling on it in black and white. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. The battery lasted like 20 minutes and it died. And then I had to plug it into the wall, but I was watching TV on a portable TV, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then they had a color one come out, and it was like different. It was like an analog one or some shit, or like a digital one, whatever the fuck it was. And I'm sitting there screwing around with it, and I'm like, wow, man, I really want to get one of those. I never got one, but it was a portable TV. Now we have cell phones that can do whatever the fuck you want. What's next? You know? What's next?
Well, now you have watches.
Yeah, we have watches. Like you're wearing an Apple Watch 5 that can tell you to call it'll call the police if you fall too hard. So you have to take it off before I clap cheeks tonight.
Oh, fuck off.
Because they're going to think you fell down because I tear it up.
Oh, my God. You give yourself too much credit.
Not enough. Well, anyway, we have gone way over the time limit. Do you have any closing thoughts for people tonight?
I don't think so, because this is, man, 2.5 hours, and we dug deep. We got you to open up a little bit.
Well, you know, I'm about to get you to open up a little bit tonight.
That's not happening. I think we got you. It was a little smidgen, a little quick.
A little quick one, but you know what?
Quick, no, not much detail, but I think we got you to open up a little bit,
yeah.
And I don't feel so damn lonely now.
Well,
I don't want people just thinking that I'm the one that came from a fucked up family. That's not fair.
You can find us on Twitter at Voices of Misery. You can email us. Wait a second. Speaking of emails, we do have an email here, and I don't want to read the whole thing because there's a lot. And basically, the gist of the email from our friend Wolf, you know, our great friend Wolf, great friend and fan of the show, you know, we love Wolf. He basically sent us a nice long email that we read through, and he didn't want us to read the whole thing. So, of course, we're not going to read the whole thing, but we are going to get to the answer to his question. He basically says, you know, there's a lot of things out there in the media that are targeted towards kids that can alter a child's mind. Things like the Peppa Pig thing that we were talking about, where they were throwing out that go in their room and kill your parents, that kind of shit. Well, what the hell was it called? Momo or Mimu or whatever the fuck it was?
Momo, but he mentioned something else that I didn't know about. Something with Elsa with going into Peppa Pig videos, which when the fuck was that? Because if that's going on, like, is there something else that I need to look out for? Because obviously our kid is obsessed with Peppa Pig, and that's what right now she's back into sea creatures, but like give it a week and she's gonna be back to Peppa Pig. So, and like I have no idea what that's about, but now I'm gonna be doing research on that, because if something weird is going on with Elsa and Peppa Pig, is he talking about Elsa and was frozen? Like, I need to do some research.
You gotta do some because and I'm gonna tell you why. Because there is a lot of things that are going on right now, and if you look at the Disney app, there are a lot of old cartoons where there's a lot of racial connotations in there. And apparently, it's just an article I read, before some of these Disney cartoons play, and before you play them, if you want to watch like an old Bugs Bunny cartoon or whatever, they will say...
Disney Plus?
On Disney Plus.
Okay.
They will say, hey, there's some very harsh racial things in here. Like a warning that plays before this. You know, like there was a thing with like the crows and big ass lips and shit, you know, like they would spit watermelons at each other, and it's like one of those things where it's like they have, like, you can't erase history. And I remember watching these cartoons as a kid and laughing my ass off. I thought it was funny. It was a funny cartoon.
But good for them for not deleting it.
Exactly, for
and
playing
for putting
it.
What the hell is it? What am I trying to say? For putting a stupid thing in front of it. A warning.
A disclaimer.
Okay.
And Porky Pig would stutter. You can't just get rid of him because people stutter now.
But I love Porky Pig.
Me too.
He can't be deleted because he has a stuttering problem. Yes,
you can't make fun of rednecks with guns because Elmer Fudd was racist against the South.
But he was one of my favorites.
Everyone thought he was funny.
So,
he was just a dumb redneck with a shotgun.
I mean, it's sad that we have to think about that. Like, put a warning in front of things.
We have to preface everything.
Everything offends somebody.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. But, like, I think he was bringing up, like, Animaniacs
Yeah.
and Ren and Stimpy, which, growing up, I'll tell you, Animaniacs was one of my favorite cartoons.
Animaniacs.
And I was much older. Like, I should not have been into cartoons. And that was one of my favorites. I loved that cartoon.
I watched the real Extreme Ghostbusters when I was in high school because I liked Ghostbusters, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think what it is like hidden suggestive
There's things, yeah.
There's subliminal messages that are hidden in cartoons, and I think that's where he's getting at.
Yes, and I don't recall, because I know that Ren and Stimpy and, like, Beavis and Butthead is another one.
Oh, yeah.
That did or said certain things, but I never thought shit.
It's kind of like the Beatles album, where if you played it backwards, it would say, "Go kill your mother, Satan wants you," or some shit, or whatever the hell it was, like some weird shit that... And we can probably get Billy Ray Valentine to elaborate some more on this, but there were certain hidden meanings in things, and...
Right.
Like, do you remember Soupy Sales back in the 80s, where he was like that salesman guy, where he was like a comedian, but he told children to steal their parents' credit cards when they were sleeping, call this number with the credit card number, and people did it. He got arrested for it. So it's like there's always something out there, and he did it as a joke. But people are very suggestive, and people take advantage of that.
But so nowadays with technology as it is, it's going to get worse, right?
It's getting way worse.
It's getting a hell of a lot worse. And I remember when the Momo challenge, or the Momo whatever the fuck came out, I was freaking pissed. Because, like, no one wants their child, and I know our child is older, but 2- and 3-year-olds were looking at that too. Like,
they don't
dude,
know
what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you trying to scare the hell out of these kids? Like, that's not okay. Yep. So, the internet fucks a lot of shit up.
What pissed me off the most is that when we found out about it, our oldest kid knew about it weeks before.
And we had
never
no
told
idea.
us. We had no idea.
We had no idea. A friend of mine from New York texted me. That's how I found out. Have you heard about this Momo thing?
Yep.
Because I know that Jenna is into Peppa Pig. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I had to go searching for the shit.
And then you told me.
And then I'm like, what the fuck? And then I bring it up. And Smith was like, oh yeah. Everyone in school is talking about it. Like what is happening?
So now we're those out-of-touch parents. And to answer your question, Wolf, like, it's really scary.
It's worse. I think it's worse now.
It's scary and it's worse because, like, back then it was just making fun of other races and nationalities, and there she is.
What?
Siri popped up. Oh.
But can you imagine, as a child, if we had the internet, like, way back when, right? Yeah. As a child, watching
G.I. Joe, American Hero, kill your parents, G.I. Joe, and you're like stabbing your mom to death.
Well, let's say you're watching that cartoon, and then it just flies across your screen and, like, pops out of nowhere, like Pennywise the Clown from back in the day.
Hey, like, Georgie, go kill your mom, Georgie.
Back in the day, he used to scare the shit out of you. Now he's creepier looking, but, like, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Growing up with, like, weird shit popping up in your videos.
But there was a conspiracy, and man, we need to talk to Billy Ray again, that they used to do that back in the 80s to make people want things that they didn't really want. This was called the decade of excess. And why? Because people were doing more with less. You would max out your credit cards to buy dumb shit. And they were saying that certain commercials would use subliminal messaging. So if you're watching like a Kmart commercial, Kmart, blah, 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 and then, like, things would flash across the screen that your brain would process, but you couldn't see it with your physical eyes, but your brain would process it. Oh, I need that. People would fucking go out there and buy shit. I'm telling you, man.
Are you serious?
Yes. 100% serious.
So stupid.
Are
you serious?
Subliminal messaging was a thing back in the 80s, supposedly, allegedly. That's a conspiracy.
He's one person I wouldn't mind talking to again. I had so much fun.
I know.
Talking to him.
Yes.
Because he opened my mind and made me think about shit, and I'm still a little pissed off about the whole
I'm about to crack those legs open in a minute.
You're not.
God damn it, don't throw things at me.
But because that's not happening.
Alright, well, anyway, you can find us on, and thank you for the question, Wolf. You can find us on Twitter at Voices.
No, thank you for the question, but now I'm more paranoid than I was before because
So
I am going to be.
thanks, Wolf.
I'm going to be looking more stuff up now. Now I'm thinking.
You can find us on Twitter at Voices of Misery for the third time. You can email us at voicesofmisery@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Voices of Misery. You can find us anywhere on Google if you just Google Voices of Misery. And you can also listen to our exclusive episode every Sunday at the Hacker Hameen group at hackerhameen.podbean.com. We got a really good one about retail this past week. And ladies and gentlemen, I am the nerd.
Oh, I'm supposed to say something?
Yeah.
I guess I'm the nerdette.
Oh my fucking God, I'm going to smack you right across the face.
Why is it in the beginning and the end?
Because why not? Just like I'm going to give it to you in your beginning and your end.
That's not happening.
We'll talk to you next week, guys. Later.
Hey everyone, this is Stevie Richards. When I'm not doing Stevie Richards Fitness, well actually when I am doing Stevie Richards Fitness resistance band training programs, I like to listen to my friends on the Voices of Misery podcast. They talk about literally everything and anything, some stuff that might offend you. So if you're not easily offended, don't subscribe because they say whatever is on their minds is actually subscribe. Subscribe anyway. You might learn something, and check them out anywhere you can download and listen to your favorite podcast. And of course, check them out at voicesofmisery.podbean.com.